All right, let's go. Um, Rewriting the playbook on how to build wealth generating companies in the post AI era. For those who don't know me, my name is Serge Gattari. I'm the founder of clientacquisition.io and also TryCook AI. And I put this presentation together because I believe we're entering this single scariest and most opportunistic, exciting time in history of company building. If you're just getting started as an entrepreneur, I think this is probably by far the best time for you to be starting. And I'm excited to show you what's happening, right? Right now, the world is violently separating to two camps. There is the people who will be left behind, not just employed, but unemployable. And you guys will understand why I chose to use this term here. There's no fallback industry anymore. You can't retreat to the factory. The robots are there or are coming. You can't retreat to accounting, marketing, sales, or law. The AI is there or is coming. But then there is this second camp where, we are witnessing the birth of a new kind of founder, a founder who isn't just 10% better, but 100 times more leveraged. They achieve 100x bigger outcomes, 100 times faster than their competition. How? Because they aren't just working. They're using systems to essentially transmute the, AI technology into equity. They have stopped being operators and have become AI architects. We have cracked the code on how this is done, and I've made it my duty to share our discoveries with the world and make it unreasonable for other natural born leaders out there not to find their path in this new world. Welcome to the new era of wealth creation with building companies, but focusing solely on AI. Just for context, for those who don't know me, I'm not an AI guru. I know a lot of people have came to know me because of AI, but I'm I'm a growth consultant, right? I've been in business for the last 5 years, and our company just this past quarter has done almost $1 million a month. We've been in the game of building and scaling companies for the last 5 years, doing $100,000 days, and this is only possible because of the value that we've created for our clients, right? In the last 15 months alone, we've spent millions and made millions launching and scaling over 300 AI services and AI growth firms in most of the 70 niches that we already had data on, building a database of deals that are closing for 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, $30,000 deals in every niche you can think of. Our clients and partners are primarily now focusing on selling AI solutions to businesses. Hamad here, who was an engineer working a full-time job, realized that, hey, I'm not going to just focus on my 9 to 5. Can I figure out a way to leverage this AI platform shift to build an agency? He went into the insurance space, closed his first client in the first month, and 3 clients in literally 3 days, right? 8 p.m. on December 8th, 8 a.m. on December 9th, and 48 hours, another client, right? While working his full-time job. We've gone into the Dubai market, selling $65,000 AI systems, another $35,000 in the real estate market in Dubai. We've scaled $200,000 a month AI agencies in the dental market. We've scaled more in kind of like the same vertical. Even in Spain, we have companies that we're currently selling AI solutions. We had this client who we started working with actually in 2023. And since our number one goal in business is to allow our clients to be lucky, when we see a new platform shift, we tell them, hey, you should pivot from what you're currently doing to giving the market what the market wants. And this July, he hit his first six-figure month with over 500 sales calls. If you are in the Spanish market, please go sell AI. Okay. We have also clients in the UK closing, $7,000 deals, $9,000 deals. The online education space, the med spa space, real estate, selling to law firms, $20,000 deals. HVAC, mining companies, $30,000 deals. Amazon, consulting, e-com, every single niche you can think of, even restaurants. We're going to restaurants and selling them, 9,000 British pounds worth of deals to help them essentially implement AI. Okay. Now, having been in business for over 4 years, launching and scaling agencies and consulting businesses for our partners, I've personally never seen growth like this. And most importantly, the ability to charge $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 for something that is only worth $50 to $100 a month. right? Have you guys wondered how is it possible to charge something that is free or maybe $29 a month to a business and get them to pay you tens of thousands of dollars for the same thing? Anybody got an answer to that question? Why is it that businesses are willing to pay um, agencies, consultants, five figures for something that costs $50 a month in the chat? Anybody get an answer to that question? Convenience, the prompt, the value you provide. They don't have time to learn. They simply don't know what it is for the playbook and systems. Okay, I like Hamza. Hamza, have you seen some of my content before? So when I see this gap, this arbitrage moment where you can do this, I'm like, okay, we have to go all in and build an AI incubator and a launchpad and double down on becoming a growth partner to all, the clients who are launching their AI service businesses, right? Now, before we dive in, I want to address the elephant in the room. I want to put my cards on the table so you can stop wondering what's the catch, right? Why am I doing this masterclass, this workshop, this webinar? And I just want you to focus on learning, okay? My main business is a high-level consulting and implementation business. We build AI growth infrastructures and systems for companies to work with us. It's $18,000 upfront and 15% of your revenue growth. I'm not going to sell you this today, okay? In fact, even if you try to pay me right now, I wouldn't take it because that service is about speed and scale. But if I take our high-speed infrastructures and system, install them into your business that is currently chaotic, with zero processes and no proven offer, I don't actually help you win. I just speed up the pace at which you fail. Speed in the wrong direction will kill you. And that is why most businesses implode when they try to scale too early. So my selfish goal for this webinar is simple. I want to give you the truth and clarity you need to fix the foundation and generate real cash flow. And I want you to win so big with this that 6 months from now, hiring our firm for tens of thousands of dollars feels like pocket change. I'm playing the long game with you. So if we are agreed that I'm not here to pitch you a high ticket service, can we focus 100% on building the foundation? Let me know in the chat. Just leave a chat in the yes in the chat so we can actually just focus on the knowledge here. Okay? Beautiful. Now, I just showed you guys some insane numbers, right? Doing $100,000 in a day, $500,000 a month, $1 million a month, clients closing $15,000 deals out of nowhere. And I know the feeling you have right now. It's dopamine. You look at that and think, oh my God, this is it. I'm going to be rich tomorrow. But before we go any further, I need to bring you back down to earth and give you context. I'm showing you these results to set a standard for what is possible. I want this to be your North Star. I want you to see the world how I see it now. But do not mistake my results or our clients' results for magic. I didn't wake up one day and accidentally stumble into a $500,000 a month business. The numbers you see on the screen are the result of a specific realization. But getting to that realization came after years of doing it the hard way. It came from hitting walls, failing at more agencies than probably this entire room combined, right? So I want you to aspire to these results, but I need you to respect the path that I took to find the truth. Because once you see where I started, you'll realize that the only difference between you and me isn't talent. It's that I finally found the right vehicle, right? So just for context, I got in my business in 2020. That's when I quit my job, right? But before that, I went through every course just like everybody else here. I did the Amazon, I did the drop shipping, I did the agency with Iman, I did the consulting accelerator with Sam Ovens, I did the Nick Cosman, every single thing that you can think of, while still working at this e-commerce company, which is called Good Food here in Montreal. And you can see me here, at least, I like to go into the office, look good, try to, have a good time. It was a great environment. But I realized that this job was costing me I was making 30K a year. I realized that this job was costing me $30,000 a month in opportunity. That's how I personally like to think. I like to think that what I'm currently earning is costing me what I could earn. So after 2 years of going through courses without making anything happen, I realized that I had to put my get back against the wall. At least I had the luxury to do that, to quit and go all in. And that's what I did. 2 months later, I signed my first client, but then I realized that nobody wanted to pay for ads. Every coach was broke. That's who I was going after, FYI. And I realized that, oh my God, I was sold in this course that I should start an advertising agency. But then when I got to selling it into the market, I realized that the market did not actually want what I was taught to sell. So instead, I listened to the market. The market didn't have money. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, what if I did appointment setting for them, where I would get the VAs that help me book calls for my agency and sell them to the coaches that needed appointments. And by pivoting, I did my first $10,000 a month in January of 2021. 90 days later, from focusing on the thing that the market wanted, I did $30,000 a month by May of 2021. And then I realized that the agency model was just a path to being enslaved to your penny pinching clients, right? I was making 30K a month. As much as I'm making a year, I was making it every month. But I realized that that path was just impossible to sustain because for those who don't know, when you're running a done for you agency, you're essentially commoditized. You're selling things that everybody can sell. So therefore, you're forced to sell it at a price point that doesn't allow you to have leverage. What do I mean by leverage? It doesn't allow you to hire team, people that are smarter than you. And if you can't hire people that are smarter than you, then that means that the more clients you get, the shittier their results are going to be. And then the more they're going to churn. So then you end up in what I call the slavery flywheel, which is you're good at getting clients because you're affordable, but then you're not actually good enough to free yourself up. So yes, you are a founder, you're successful working for yourself, but you're not necessarily better off than someone working a 9 to 5 because you're literally a slave to yourself. You're the boss and the slave. Okay. So I took a step back and I studied who was making $300,000 a month, $1 million a month, and realized that they all had one thing in common. They were all selling expensive things that weren't attached to their time. So I pivoted to building and releasing systems into companies and the VAs into my clients' companies. So instead of them paying me monthly for the work, I was like, hey, I don't want any of your retainer. Just pay me up front. I'm going to install the system into your business and it's going to get you the results that you want. 12 months later, guys, $500,000 a month. Why? How? How do you go from 30K a month? Literally, I shut down this business. I went from 28 grand a month to making 13 grand a month in June of 2021. This was December of 2022. And the reason why this was possible is because every single thing I was selling was worth 12,000, 10,000, $8,000. It is not hard for you to make $1 million when every client gives you 10 grand. Okay? That month, I took home over $400,000 in profit and over a quarter of a million in cash profit. And ever since my own transformation, I've become fascinated with one thing. You can have all the growth you dream of, but it will cost you your current self and situation. I never in a million years would have thought that I could go from 30K year job to making over $10 million in 3 years. Uh, so my goal today is to show you what we've learned and give you access to the truth so you can finally have the confidence to trust yourself, bet on yourself, and not let this new technology, aka the AI wave, pass you by because we're definitely not getting another platform shift like this one. Okay? Cool. I just wanted to put things into perspective, right? Let's get started. So here's the thing. Even with all the AI success I just walked you guys through and all the hype, right? I still wasn't seeing the full potential of AI and couldn't understand why there is an AI race in the first place. And I want to break this down. I don't know if you guys have seen recently, Trump has been going crazy with signing a lot of documents. Recently, at least I think it was like what, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, um, he standardized the rules that apply to AI. Because I think in the United States, because I'm from Montreal, by the way, in the States, every state regulates how companies are run, right? And what that means is every AI, let's say ChatGPT want to launch something, they have to go to one state and the next state and the next state to go talk to California, and California has to approve what they can do and can't do in their state, or go to New York and this and that. Trump essentially was like, hey, if we want to win the AI race, we cannot wait for a company to go talk to every state to be approved to launch specific features. So he standardized the rule around the entire country. And then on November 25th, he created this, what they call the Genesis mission. which is essentially the most powerful scientific platform to ever be built, reminiscent of the Manhattan Project and Apollo programs. What essentially this is a national mission to accelerate science through artificial intelligence. I was like, why is the US focusing on this? And then on December 11th, he's like, hey, we need to build the United States Tech Force, right? Why is everybody going at it? China going in and being like, hey, we want to build everything ourselves. We want to build the chips. We want to build the large language models ourselves, right? We don't want to rely on American chips. We don't want to buy from NVIDIA. We want to have our own chips. We don't want our country relying on ChatGPT. We want to have our own ChatGPTs. Okay. And then the other thing was all the smart money is going into AI. This year alone, they've invested over 109, almost $200 billion in AI. For context, that's $4 billion a week. That's $500,000 a day if you were to average it out. That's currently being invested by venture capitalists into AI ventures. Okay. I was looking at this, I'm like, whoa, something is bigger. It's not just that, like, venture capitalists are not putting this money in AI because, oh, and you can start an agency and sell AI. That's not what they're focusing on. That's baby money, right? And another thing that I noticed, which was super interesting, is that growth that used to take a decade to achieve now takes 18 months. If you look at how fast Salesforce took to reach $100 million in ARR, or Shopify or ServiceNow, AI companies are now reaching it in literally a year or two. $100 million in recurring revenue. The other thing that's happening is there is a talent war where AI researchers are getting paid 60 million, $100 million a year to come work at these companies, right? The most valuable company is now a chip creator company, which is NVIDIA. I was like, something doesn't make sense. This is bigger than what people are saying. Because right now, the online space, we hear that, oh, AI is an opportunity to make money, but that's not enough for you to invest hundreds of billions of dollars every year into AI ventures. There's got to be something bigger. Now, this all made sense. Now, this kind of like didn't make sense until we built the following. And that's what I'm about to walk you through. Before I share you what we've cooked up, I want to explain to you why we built it. In the last 4 years of business, I've served over 1,500 entrepreneurs launching and scaling companies. And I've studied every successful founder online. And there was a common lever they all pulled to surpass $1 million a year, all the way to $1 million a month. Every single figure that we all look up to only experienced true generational wealth creation moments when they quit and switched to a different business vehicle that had more leverage in one or the three of the following areas. They pivoted from a way, they pivoted to a more leveraged, to a business model that allowed them to have an ability to acquire attention, trust, and clients in a more leveraged way. They pivoted to a model that they could allow them to price their services more expensive than what they were doing before. And most importantly, it also gave them leverage in how they fulfill. The perfect example is Hormozy. For those who don't know, Hormozy was running gyms before he started Gym Launch or before he built acquisition.com. And from 23 to 26, he ran 6 gyms. Mind you, he was already great at advertising and all the marketing tactics that he shares today, but even he failed, right? And then he pivoted to Gym Launch, where he started helping gyms scale. And in 12 months, he went from losing everything to making $17 million in profit, in take-home income, right? And now he's pivoted to acquisition.com and just did $100 million in what? In a weekend. Iman Gadzi traditionally was an agency owner selling e-com advertising agency services. Now he pivoted to a model that allows him to make $1 million a day, right? Alex Becker, Ryan Serhant, they're all playing a game that is not the same that everybody in their industry plays. The average realtor makes $56,000 a year. Ryan Serhant's company just did over $4 billion in annual sales, right? Even my own transformation, my first $1 million in 90 days, I did it in 2022. And I only spent $7,000 on ads, right? $7,000 to make $1 million. It's impossible. And I only had 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. So it's not like I was famous, right? I knew that I had experienced the impact of being in a leveraged vehicle before AI came around. So I knew that our number one mission was to find a way to provide that same leverage to clients who are launching their AI companies. We needed to give them the ability to acquire attention like they're part of the 1% of any industry in business. Give them the ability to convert like they have seven-figure growth teams in their company. Give them the ability to sell their product solutions for a premium and give them the ability to experience leverage fulfillment where what they sell isn't tied to their time. While most AI entrepreneurs, automation agencies, consultants focused on tools and became proficient at struggling more efficiently, right? Because that's what's happening in the AI space. We had this guy who commented on my YouTube. I think he has access to, he's launched his automation agency and it was saying that, hey, I'm a front-end developer dreading to go back to get a job. I'm struggling to reach $3,000 a month with an AI automation business, and I've got a no-brainer all-in-one automation web package offer. I can literally put together websites in 30 minutes or 60 minutes. The Gen Z influencer culture is so blatantly toxic, victims and addicts of marketing and lacking of truth, right? Even engineers are struggling. This guy commented on one YouTube video saying, hey, I'm a software engineer with a background in AI engineering. The most challenging part, as you said, to build a valuable solution, which is the mistake that I made and probably still make, like you said, you can't come from nowhere and build a real solution that solves a real problem. I'm trying to learn business marketing and all of that to build an intuition, but it's really hard for me as a purely technical person. I don't really know what companies actually need to solve and what are their real problems. Not going to lie, it's so frustrating when you can build anything of any complexity, but your skills are so useless because you don't know you don't know how business works. And then the automation experts, their competition are charging $21 to implement the same N8N templates, the same VAPI AI voice agents, $43, right? So everybody who's jumping into the AI space without focusing on leverage is getting cooked because the rate at which you're getting commoditized is unbelievable, right? Now, knowing that our job was to find leverage, we built this. Can I show you guys try cook? Let me know in the chat. Can I show you guys the cook? All right, perfect. Um, all right, you guys let me know if you guys can see this. Now, I'm gonna show you guys from the onboarding state before we get started, and then you guys are gonna tell me if you guys can see this. Can you guys see it? Okay, cool. Perfect. So our number one mission was when we built this platform, and by the way, this isn't the thing that we're gonna finish off, but I want to just give you guys the whole initial platform, that the mindset of what we did and why we wanted to do this, right? The idea was, can we leverage AI? If AI is so good, what if we actually leveraged AI um, to essentially give the leverage to someone who's launching the same leverage as if you had a team of 20 people, as if you're already running $1 million business. So we built this platform. The way that it works is really simple. You give it context, your context as to what you've been doing. Have you, launched a business before? Have you sold a service before? If you have, at what price point, to what industry? What's something that you're naturally great at? Which skills do you have, right? That you've used in your business or your current job? For me, I said appointment setting, sales closing, funnel building, copywriting. Do you have a community or audience? No. Do you have any assets, testimonials, proof of work? Where are you currently in your journey? Are you currently starting out? Do you have clients? Current monthly revenue? What's your vision? What's your goal? How ideal monthly income? How big you want to scale your business? 20 or 50K per month? What freedom matters the most? Do you care about impact? Do you care about uh, do you care just about working on your own time zone and not being tied to your work essentially, right? How quickly do you want to get results? Because it matters. The strategy around how you scale, if you want to win next month versus 3 to 6 months, is different. The playbook that you would approach, right? And why are you doing this? You give it context and then you complete your profile. What do you feel is the biggest thing holding you back? You're not sure what market to go after. You're not sure how to get sales calls. Okay, perfect. Have you tried launching or growing an offer before? Yes. Are there any specific skills, tools you feel like you're missing right now? Cool. When it comes to delivering your solution, are there any constraints we should know about? No, I don't have a team. Do you have a team? Blah, 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 blah. Anything blocking you mentally? Have you used any AI tool? We want to understand your AI, the depth you have when it comes to AI. If you only use ChatGPT, cool, that's important to know, right? How comfortable are you? How strongly do you believe AI is the smartest way to grow? Do you have any concerns, right? And then we want to get into resources. If you're wanting to scale a business and let's say you only put 5 hours a week or 30 hours a week, the rate at which you advance is going to be different. So we also want to know time allocation, resource allocation. Do you want to bootstrap everything, not invest anything into growth, or do you just want to, or do you want to put $1,000 a month into acquisition, as an example, right? Are you building this solo, or do you have a team? What pace are you looking to move at? How fast do you want results? And then, are there any other constraints? Boom. Okay. Once you have this, then this platform will essentially go take the data around that you fed it, and then it will suggest you different markets. It will suggest you based on, the time allocation, your experience, your background, everything like that. Then it suggests you, hey, do you want to go after dental and orthodontics? This is $1 million a year potential because you're charging high ticket, $4,000 plus familiarity. You have half familiarity with this market because I've done appointment setting. Do you care about family and law? Go sell to personal injury firms, law firms. Do you want to go sell to real estate brokerages? And you can also see the research that it did in every single market. It is able to go essentially find what every market wants and why they want it and what bottleneck it's solving, and then also give you what the evidence proof as to each mechanism that it's suggesting you. Let's say I'm like, you know what? I want to see which offer would suggest me HVAC and I also like roofing. Cool. Then you get suggested offers. We automate your insurance verification and patient rescheduling using AI to reclaim 20 hours of front desk time weekly, or you don't pay a cent. Which one do you guys want me to go with? So I'll show you guys the next steps. Let me know in the chat. Which one? Inshallah. Which one do you guys want me to go with next? Which initiative you guys want to go? Bootstrap, e-commerce, fitness. No, these out of these ones, either HVAC, dental, or roofing. Pick one. Let's keep moving. Okay, people are saying, okay, geez, okay, I'll go with the one I care the most about. Because you guys are confusing me. So guys, this is how how long it took me 5 minutes because I was explaining each step, but I want to show you guys the new experience of building a company with AI, with leverage. All you have to do is choose the industry that you want to go with and say, click, build my funnel. Give me a second. I'm going to make coffee and then I'm going to come back while this gets done. Okay. The time to get coffee is the time that it should take you to build what? Okay. See, I don't even have time to get coffee. It already puts together sequences for your email to nurture all the leads that are coming into your ecosystem, your GHL list. Let's say you want to build a SMS list. It already builds your VSL to sell people on the actual offer, right? If you're a solo dental practice owner or you're running a multi-location orthodontic group, I want to ask you a very honest question. Do you pay your front desk staff to be world-class patient coordinators, or do you pay them to sit on hold with insurance companies for hours a day? Because right now you are bleeding production hours. Your chairs are sitting empty because of last-minute cancellations, and your team is burnt out by administrative busy work to actually grow your clinic. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you how to use how we use AI to automate your insurance verification and patient rescheduling to reclaim at least 20 hours in front desk time every single week. And here's the kicker. If we don't hit the mark, you don't pay a single cent. Let's dive in. Look, I've talked to dozens of practice owners just like you. You went to dental school to transform smiles, not to manage a call center. But here's what the behind the scenes actually looks like for most clinics. Your best office manager is currently stuck in hold music hell. They're waiting 45 minutes for a rep from United Healthcare to answer a basic question, while a potential high value Invisalign patient is standing at the front desk waiting to be greeted. That's customer service suicide. Essentially, it goes in and scripts as if you had essentially a six-figure a year copywriter who's building your sales letter, right? It then also gives you the offer, the math, what you need to essentially solve this problem, the delivery and scope, social proof. It will kind of like give you examples of essentially case studies. It will also do what? Build your funnel, not just the main page, but the booking page too. All you have to do is add your calendar. Not only that, it will also give you your ads, right? And then if you're happy, launch your business or launch. See, this is the perspective that's super important. And maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but this is not just for you to launch your operations as an AI growth architect or AI agency or AI consultant, but this is also for your clients. Because guess what? Your clients probably don't even have a funnel, probably don't even have a proper conversion AI. It also built my offer, dentiva.ai, which is interesting. But the ability is it just created a project here so that you can essentially operate, if you want it, 5, 10 plus offers, companies optimize their growth all in one place. You want to change the orange to yellow, please. You want to change stuff? Talk to AI. Let it do it, right? You want to change the VSL that it gave you? Just talk to it. Hey, I'd like to make the VSL and actually give the pitch in the first 5 seconds and disqualify anybody who's not qualified. Can you change it, please, and update the editor? You just record your voice, talk to the AI, send it, and get your new VSL updated, right? Boom. Landing page, nurture assets, your email sequences, same thing. You want to create new ads? Talk to it. Change everything you want, right? Now, the whole idea of this experience, we modeled it after looking at some of the biggest, companies in AI, which are, the cursors of the world. We essentially modeled, for those who don't know, some of the fastest growing companies are co-pilots that allow engineers to code. And that's kind of like the look that we approach with this. And I've been using it to even actually help our clients build their offers and everything that they're launching, right? So I have a client who we're working on a webinar on. I'm putting this here. I have clients in the medical AI niche, so we're using this to build it. I have a lot of different companies that we're using this for. So what I end up using is I essentially leverage this to help our clients. Okay. Now, this is just the kind of like cook page. The next page you have is the thinking agents. Let's say you're going after dental clinics and you're like, hey, I don't know how to build this offer, right? So let me go back to the one I just created for orthodontist. And you're like, hey, I don't actually know how to build this solution. So you take your offer and you're like, hey, can you help me figure out how to build this system? And just paste your offer and then get it to do what? To design every step of the way on how to essentially go about designing it, right? Um, can you just give me an example on the design the system? Okay, see, we have a framework around having it not skip this market. So I'm not going to go through this too much, but you want to have all the agents that you need: ads architect, nurture architect, bottleneck finders, category, build, niche architect. Eventually, everything you need intelligence-wise is all codified here, productized. And then the next thing is, um, if you are going after companies, one of the things that we realize is the most valuable one is actually content creation. If you cannot allow a business to acquire attention for free, you're not going to make it. Not in the current state of online. So what did we do? Well, we also figured out a way to also automate that. But understanding that the biggest bottleneck for any person is not creating content, it's actually creating content that actually goes viral. So what we did is we built the system where we scrape every single viral content in every single niche. It essentially scrapes every day thousands of pieces of content. So if I want to go after dental clinics, I'm like, I need to find and sell them AI content. Well, I'll be like, hey, can you find me viral content in dental? And then you talk to it, you ask it what you want. It finds you videos with 12 million views, 57,000 views, a million views, 130,000 views. And then once you're happy with the whichever would work for your client or for yourself, you're like, hey, uh, when the boss says we need to get more patients in, okay, I like this because this seems to be about getting more clients. Hey, can you create a new a new um, a new short based on oops this one based based on number seven. Boom, starts generating the video, right? Now, what kind of video it generates, because it's going to take a little second. What we've been able to do is we've been able to stitch up, because we're leveraging Sora right now. We're able to stitch multiple videos in one and create longer videos. Right now we're at 40 seconds. Eventually it's going to be longer. We don't have to worry about that because ChatGPT is in a race with Gemini. So they better figure out their thing so they can give us more content, longer content. But the idea is you essentially end up with videos like this. Let me show you guys real quick.
I swear it didn't even hurt that bad until this morning. Now it feels like my whole head is throbbing. 2 years. They're gonna roast me. I just know it. Okay, we got this.
And then the idea is, can you create content that essentially goes for your clinic, for your clients, so that they don't have to do what? That they don't have to worry about creating content because they'll never in a million years be able to create their own content, right? And I go in different markets and different niches and try to create as many content as I can show you. I'll show you guys an example of different clips I've created. And the number one reason why we wanted to essentially build a tool like this was because we had a client who launched what was it? A construction business. Okay. I'll show you guys real quick. He went into this industry because her sister wanted to renovate her basement and she got quoted ridiculous prices. And he was like, hey, if they're charging this much money, why don't I go into this industry? Because he was a marketer. And then he was like, I could get clients and just upsell and sell these, renovation jobs and just keep the margins. So he started his company, but the way he did it completely different from the old playbook. Instead of relying on ads, he actually went ahead and created a theme page on Instagram where he only relied on creating what? AI content. And then he started going viral. 1 million views here, 1.7 million views here, 1.2 million views here, 1 million views there, 6 million views here, 4 million views. Ended up with 800 leads that were actually pretty qualified. And then over $500,000 in the first 6 months, right? Until we saw that it was possible to create AI content that goes viral online, we didn't necessarily think it was possible to essentially allow a business to create content that is AI created that goes viral without needing them to be a personal brand focused company. We didn't need someone shooting the content because if you go to a business and you're like, hey, you need to create content, they're not gonna do that. They're never gonna do that. Right? So that's why we were like, okay, cool. Then how can we productize this playbook and allow anyone uh, to be able to essentially go to any business and like, hey, oh, you guys, who's your competitor? How much are they making? Oh, they're making a
I used
million.
to climb roofs every.
They're making $1 million, $100 million more than you. Why is that? Oh, because they have a presence online. Okay, cool. You won't shoot content. You won't do anything. Do you want us to do it for you? Perfect. Cool. Let me
Day. Now I make 200 grand a year inspecting them from the ground. Same
let me do
sunburn,
content for you.
way less risk. If you can read a shingle and hold a camera, you can do it too.
When an adjuster walks a neighborhood after a hailstorm, we're looking at every roof line. See that ridge? We scan it for bruising, lifted tabs, anything that broke the seal. We mark what we find on the diagram, document it with photos, and note direction and size of the hits.
You don't need to leave roofing to level up. Just learn insurance claims. Follow for more roofing income tips.
Think of any niche you can think of. They need content. Think of who's making money today. They all are doing content, right? Hormozy does more content than the content than Gary Vee now. Every single person who's truly killing it is killing it because of content, right? So now the idea was, are we able to democratize now, not from just like, oh, create content for fun. Oh, this is a dog, right? Like the goal is not to make these images so it's like it's cute. The goal is to go to businesses and say, hey, can we democratize and allow you to have attention that you otherwise would never have because you're not a content creator, right? This wasn't the first thing. And then the last piece of our system is the ability to build AI employees, right? Now, this is not ready. I'm not going to necessarily tell you guys this is kind of like currently operating, but the idea was, let's say you get clients, okay? And this is what the future is going to be early 2026. It's if I get a client and I have this operating system here and I know how to build their funnels, I know how to build their websites, I know how to build their ads, I know what content they want, I know what systems they want, then am I able to essentially then build a workflow and create an agent so that every single Monday we create new ads, new content, we publish it without needing me to be in the system clicking buttons. Stage one is you're the architect. You're using this platform, you have a leverage of a zillion employees, right? And expertise that you otherwise would never have access to on a click of a button. But then the next step is just automate everything. So as an example, one of the things that we started doing is I create content on YouTube. So we wanted to build a YouTube thumbnail agent that works, let's say weekly on, let's say every Sunday. Like tomorrow I have a video that's going out, but I'm paying $2,000 a month for an agency to just focus on creating thumbnails. Imagine how ridiculous it is to pay someone to make an image. $2,000 a month. It's not worth it. So I was like, okay, cool, perfect. I'm going to create the agent, okay? And then I'm just going to go and schedule it, right? I'm going to add a task or test the run. I'm going to be like, hey, tomorrow, or I would add a transcript of my video here. I'm dropping a YouTube video with a client, blah, blah, blah. Add if you have a prompt, choose your image, choose. So then what it will do is it will go find other channels that are related to your transcript And then it will look at videos that have a minimum of 200,000 views that have been posted in the last 365 days with a minimum duration of 240 seconds and max duration of 1800 seconds. And then once you start running it, it will actually open up a browser. In this case, it's going to fail because it's right now it's not working, but it's going to go find content that's already working, thumbnails that are working, and then just generate you a thumbnail for you. But I want you guys to think bigger than just the thumbnail. I want you to think about what other activities do you do in your business, in your day to day, that can just be put all in one and automated. Okay. So this is essentially what we built. And what it made us realize is the following. I realized once we built the system, I finally understood why there is an AI race in the first place and why no one can afford to lose. So check this out. Mark Zuckerberg, and I love this quote, he said that he'd rather risk misspending a couple $100 billion than to be late on super intelligence. See, what we built and are building with TriCook AI is an operating system that allowed us to productize and codify our way of launching and scaling and growing companies with AI. Based on what? Based on how the 1% is able to scale. Every single person, every single founder, every single person online, every single operator who's experiencing the results of the 1% is doing it because they are able to acquire attention for close to free. They're doing it because they have access to a playbook of growing companies that most people don't have access to, which is essentially its skills, it's the strategy. And they also have the systems behind their companies that most people don't have, right? So our job was, can we put the 1% playbook into an platform and also put our IP on how we go about solving these problems and our data, right? Just to put things into perspective, last year I spent $3 million on just my team. Like the business of growth consulting literally cost me $3 million a year. We were able to put all of that talent and that skill and the playbook around how we go about scaling our clients' companies, clients here who are doing 50K a month, 10K selling these 10K deals, our $50,000 a month AI growth infrastructure, essentially this playbook that we go about helping clients scale. We put it all in one platform. And the results was when we launched this, we did almost $1 million a month, right? But the key insight here was the AI race is a race to own the next value creation mechanism, where intelligence, not labor, does the work. Does this make sense? Does this part make sense, guys? Let me know. I just want to make sure that it was clear, this last part. The insight wasn't with the platform I just walked you guys through, it was that, oh, I see. I'm able to put $3 million worth of skill, worth of playbooks, worth of data in a platform and productize everything and then give it to people. And instead of having a team, instead of having people doing the work, it's intelligence that people now rent and buy that does the work on their behalf. Right? Does that make sense? Cool. And I'm going to go more on this later. Right? And the most beautiful thing about this is that it doesn't just think. ChatGPT thinks for me, right? But I wanted to take it a step further where it's like, yes, thinking, help me think, but I still got to do the work. Why don't you allow me to also execute for me? I want this piece of content. Please create me the piece of content. Oh, please help me find what's viral. Oh, please create that. Oh, help me find the best funnel. Oh, please create that. Oh, hey, I want a new offer. Please create that. Right? And that's why when I introduced this presentation earlier, I said it is reshaping the role of a human and turning those that have access to systems like this into AI architects. You're not a worker anymore. You don't need to write anything. You don't need to do anything. Your new job is to become an architect of this intelligence, and you just guide it to where you want it to go. Okay. Now, the normal question is, or from the system I just showed you guys, is the next natural question is, why are we all not millionaires? Why are we all not billionaires yet, right? If we have all this leverage, how come I'm not how come I'm still working, guys? Anybody want to answer that question? Why am I still working on Saturday? Why are clients not billionaires? And that next part, this next section, guys, please, I need you guys to pay attention to this one. How come with all the leverage I just showed you guys, we haven't changed, we haven't cured cancer, right? How come I don't have a $1 billion yacht and I'm hanging out with Jeff Bezos and I'm getting in shape? How come I'm not there? Well, I want to show you guys this. And this is the most important thing ever. And this is why I'm literally hosting this masterclass. I'm not hosting this masterclass, by the way, to show you guys this. Like, I think some people had already seen Try Cook AI as it is. I just wanted to show you guys what we built first, right? The reason why I built this masterclass is because of the following. The competence fallacy or intelligence trap. See, since the beginning of time, humans have been brainwashed to believe that they are the center of the universe. Stay with me. I'm going to explain. We think we're so special, and it's the main reason why we never get anything. Okay? So check this out. 100,000 years ago, if I learned to hunt well, farm well, build useful skills, I survived, which was amazing. As societies industrialized, they needed a way to train large populations efficiently, so schools were built and the wheel kept turning. And the idea was, hey, if I learn enough, memorize everything, follow instructions, have all the right answers, pass a test, get a good grade, become intelligent, I'd have status, right? Oh, wow, you have a master's degree? Oh, wow, that's so beautiful. You need to go to college, you need to get this degree, make your parents proud, right? Oh, my son is a doctor. Wow, beautiful, right? In the industrial corporate system, this also kept happening. It only works if most people execute inside the predefined roles. So in a work environment, you also have to follow a specific thing. The system doesn't need everyone questioning what to do. It needs people executing on how to do it. Okay? So I learned that for me to be good at my job, I need to be hardworking, consistent, reliable, and specialized, and just focus on performing well inside the system. Okay? If I do so, I get rewarded. Promotions, security, everything. All of the above trained us to survive and thrive in a world, in a system where us humans, our intelligence was the special asset. Let me repeat this. The millions of years of evolution we just went through as a species helped us evolve to survive in a world where being smart is special. Okay? Our guarantee was if you work hard, become smart, you are safe. And that was true. Well, in this new reality we just entered, where intelligence is abundant, this has become our greatest weakness. Because we're still leveraging AI through the lens of the old reality where the human is the special asset. And this is going to be the biggest risk that you guys can ever. This is literally the biggest danger that's happening right now. So why does this become a problem in the AI era? I want to explain. We're now living in a world where intelligence can write, analyze, predict, design, create, optimize, test, and iterate instantly in every domain you can think of. And then it's given to humans to tell it what to do. Humans who have lived in a world where they're trained to be a cog in a machine, in a system where they should only focus on one thing at a time, one path, one job. Worst of it all, our motto was work hard, become smart, and you'll win. Right? The outcome is really simple. You have all this magical data and knowledge and everything about everything. And then there's the human assumption who's supposed to now guide it. The outcome is it doesn't matter if I give you $1 billion worth of intelligence if you are the person that it has to go through to then make a decision to win, you're never going to get anything more than what you're currently getting out of life. Because so far till now, you are the biggest deciding factor in everything that you do. Everything has to go through you. And what's happening with AI is people are still blind. They have access to now infinite intelligence, but it's still up to them to make decisions on what to do with it, right? People are still executing on what they want to do, on their idea. But your idea is not really what's going to change your life. If it was, you would have already changed your life, right? Since we're specifically talking about building companies, I want to just give you a quick stat on the history of entrepreneurship, which is currently repeating itself, even with AI. In the US, there's 30 million businesses, $34 million, 34 million to be exact. Only 5% of them crossed $1 million in revenue. That's 1.6 million businesses out of 34. And you know what's crazy? The average net profit of the top 5% of businesses is 7 to 10%. So that means that the top 5% of operators of companies only take home 70K to 100K a year profit. And that is the top 5%. The bottom 95% make on average $15,000. So today, I'm not telling you guys to build a business. Anybody who's telling you guys that, oh, AI is a perfect place, you should start a business, they're lying to you because you're going to be your worst enemy, right? Just like any, like literally, the stats prove that the human is not the right person to start a business. Most people should not be operating companies. Anybody who says you should is lying to you, right? And that's what's happening with most AI agencies, consultants, and freelancers. And they're failing and super commoditized because they're blindly pursuing this AI wave, their interest, their passion, working really hard to learn every tool, do cold outreach, do cold calls, spend money on ads, and expecting to win because someone said that the AI wave is the thing that's going to make them money. It is not, right? You're just blindly following this journey, and all you're really doing is just you're going to find more failure because there is failure in AI because at the end of the day, you're still building a business, right? The wrong path, the wrong game multiplied by infinite leverage is just faster failure. Now, the moment I realized this, I want to go over the moment I realized that we had this whole thing backwards, right? Because we built the Try Cook AI app first because I thought that, oh, if I can give leverage to my clients, then they're going to change everything. They can win, they can do things that maybe someone like me who's been able to do over 8 figures, I can give them 8 figures worth of leverage. But I realized that, oh, actually, that's not what they need, right? And I want to tell you what story helped me realize this. So we had this client late 2024, right? A year ago. He launched his first AI offer and selling each solution for $5,000. He spent $800 on ads and made $18,000 in revenue and collected $12,000. That first month, he ended it at $21,000 in cash collected from $2,000 in ad spend, which is unbelievable. Spend $2,000 on ads, get businesses wanting AI. You're like, wow, I'm already killing it. But then fast forward a few months later, earlier this year, he lost everything. Why? Because the market that he had picked was not necessarily positioned well to actually get results from the AI systems that he was implementing. And since they weren't positioned well, the AI that he implemented to companies didn't get them results. And since it didn't get them results, and these were necessarily smaller companies that necessarily had a little bit of, tight on cash, they actually went back to him and said, hey, we want a refund. But the thing is, he had already invested all this money. So he literally almost went bankrupt, but he's from Trinidad. So it's a little different. It's not like he can just go to and file bankruptcy, right? But Then something interesting happened. With no money left and only at $800 threshold on Meta ads. So if you guys have advertised on Meta, you guys would know that Meta advert when you're advertising on Facebook, it doesn't necessarily charge you right away. It gives you a threshold. Every $500 you're going to get billed. Every $1,000 that you spend on our platform, then we charge your credit card. His credit card were maxed out, but he hit $800 threshold. Okay. And he tried a different approach with this time because he was like, he's already failed. So why not just put it all on the line? He relaunched his AI offer, but before he did, he needed to have certainty in the following, in demand quality, in picking the right market, the right pain to solve with AI, in having a unique mechanism, a unique solution that allowed him to differentiate him from the competition. He also needed to figure out a model that allowed him to charge upfront fees because he didn't have money, right? And he also needed to have a way to retain those clients once they had paid him the upfront fee, right? He also needed to figure out, how do I communicate this solution so that this market can actually understand the value of it? I want to create my own category and literally recreate the belief system of this industry. Okay. And also, he needed to make sure that every system that he was selling, he could build it once and then release it over and over again and not have to be, selling custom solutions and everything like that. Right. So he leveraged AI to find all of the above and most importantly, found competitors who were also already selling to the market successfully. He launched ads, spent $700, $50, $750, and with $50 left in his threshold on Meta before he got billed on his credit card, he signed a $2,000 client, paid off the credit card, kept advertising. Now, what I want to show you guys is the following. Oops. He ended that first month at $16,000, which was July, as you guys can see here. The following month, he finished it at what? At $50,000 and 75K in revenue, which was July here, right? 50 grand in cash. The third month, he projected to end it at $100,000 a month and was doing 15,000. He ended up having one day where he did $30,000 in revenue and $15,000 in cash. Now, the reason why he was able, by the way, to go this fast is because every client is signing a $15,000 deal. They're paying 50% upfront, 50% later. And when I saw this transformation, I was like, whoa, can you go from not having any money on your credit card, okay, literally losing everything, to launching a business in an AI offer in the first 30 days, finishing at $16,000, using your technically Meta's money to get attention, convert those clients, finish at 16 grand, reinvest some of that money back in ads, finish the second month at $50,000 in cash, and the second month repeat the same thing. I was like, oh, I think I see something interesting, right? What this transformation made me realize is the following. It made me realize that we actually had fell for the competence fallacy. We thought that if we just automated every skill that is required to scale a business past 6 figures per month in profit with our operating system, that success would be inevitable. But really, being skilled, smart, hardworking, having leverage simply does not guarantee success. Only one thing guarantees success. Who wants to tell me what that thing is in the chat before I show you guys what we've all came here for? Time, execution, truth, consistency. Only one thing guarantees success, guys, is the truth. The reason why this guy on his second go built this level of success wasn't that it's not like he didn't necessarily know how to build offers. It's not like he didn't know how to run ads. Is that he started first with the truth and it changed everything for him. Now, what does truth mean for me? When I say truth, it's important. It's in the lens of business. It's a set of insights, aka information, that would make it unreasonable for me not to make money. What information would make it inevitable for you not to print? Alberto, Haisam, Jill, can you guys allow people in? It's distracting because I'm having to let people in. Or someone else who's a perfect. Thank you. So, what information would make it inevitable for you not to print money selling AI solutions? Like, what would I need to know to go in to make sure that I'm just succeeding at every time, right? Well, here they are. I would need to know where is money already being spent, right? What niche is already being sold to AI and that has a high market viability score, a strong opportunity. The next thing I would like to know is what is the level of interest in AI in the last few months to 12 months? I want to see the demand curve and make sure that there's more demand than there is supply. Okay? If I enter an industry where I know demand is growing faster than supply, I'm guaranteed to get my first few wins. I'm not guaranteed to necessarily make millions of dollars, but I'm guaranteed to make sure that I get my first few deals. Okay? The next thing is, what is the most important problem to solve with AI in the niche? You can have access to AI solutions, but do you even know if that actually applies for the market you're going after? No. So you need to make sure that, at least for me, if I want the truth, I would like to know what is the biggest problem that this niche is dealing with? What AI solutions can solve this gap? What are the 1% in their industry doing? What is their positioning? What is their ads? What is their funnels? What is their pricing, monetization, their ascension process? Okay. And once I have that, I also want to know who is already selling to this niche. And most importantly, how are they selling it? I would like to know their offers, their positioning, their ads, their lead gen method, their funnels, their pricing, their monetization model, everything. Okay? And based on all this signal from all the above, you're able to create what? A truth-backed go-to-market blueprint. Meaning, you're going to market, you're starting and launching your offer, your business, your whatever, based on the truth. You pick a market that you know is wanting what you have to sell. You pick an AI solution that is already proven, aka feasible. You create an AI offer that has already been validated by your competition that who's already making money. You leverage client acquisition engine that is already delivering leads, sales, and deals to your competition. This means that you know it works before you spend a minute or a dime on a business idea, an offer, an AI solution, or client acquisition system before you get launched, right? When we built the Truth Engine, that was our dream goal. Our North Star was how about instead of letting people go through these courses where they're told like, hey, this is what you should do. Oh, spend 10 grand, 15 grand, 100 grand so we can help you launch this. Well, like, why should you believe another human? Do you think that there's one human who knows everything around how you should succeed? No. Even I don't know enough to guarantee that 340 people on this call can grow a business successfully. I just showed you stats. Only 5% of companies even make a million, and even they only take home 7% of that. So the stats by default, we're all cooked. We should not be entrepreneurs, right? So, and there's no human who can take in enough data to be able to guarantee you that. So my job, my insight was, is there a way for me to replicate what this client went through? So I went to our engineering team that had built that had innovated that try cook platform that I showed you guys, and I said, hey guys, we have to find a way to replicate the truth finding process. And we did, right? And it's important to know that it's not about finding what worked last month. last year, 5 years ago, but what is actively proven to work today. And talking about that, can I show you guys the truth engine? Let me know in the chat. All right. 1 second. Let me share my screen and then we're going to that. Okay, cool. Perfect. So, um, same thing. Um, it works the same. There is an onboarding to it. I'll show you guys. The idea is the following. Um, what is your current stage, right? Some people here are already operating businesses, and the truth is also still valuable. I still would like to have the insight around who's my competition, what funnels are they leveraging, how are they doing it. If I'm starting out, I want to know what are the best markets. I want to know what are the best things to sell, blah, 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 blah. So what we did is a simple onboarding, a lot lighter than our operating system. So you have a few stages. Are you exploring ideas, defining an offer, ready to launch, or are you scaling up? Let's say I'm defining an offer. And then let's say I want to go after dentists, right? What is your target audience? I'll do North America, but really I want to go worldwide. And it's just taking in a little bit. Who leads this market? I don't know, maybe Tooth. I'll just say for now, just say Hormozy. Ba 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 bum. Perfect. So what this will do is it will use your onboarding data to essentially pre-create prompts, okay, that you can essentially copy, right? But I'm just gonna launch it and then show you guys a little bit. As you guys can see, the whole goal of the Truth Engine is simplicity. It is not noisy. It's not the operating system. It's not for you to be like, to come in here and be like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. No, it's like, what is the least, it's like, what is the minimal viable things you can do to find the truth, right? So I want to show you guys an example. I'm going to select all of these and I want to say, I want to sell, I want to sell AI growth solutions to dental clinics. Cool. What it will do is ask me a few things. And also, we did it this way. Most people don't know what they don't know. So instead of us letting you prompt it, before we had it so you could ask it what you want, but we actually realized that that's not efficient for people because people might not know what they don't want, what they don't know. So here, it is going to suggest you, what you should do, which segments of the market. I'm like, hey, I don't know yet, so I'm gonna just do a deep research for all the different segments of dental, and I want to focus on helping them acquire clients. What is your primary goal for this research? Well, I don't really know, so I'm gonna do all of the above. And then what stage are you at with this offer? Um, I'm exploring. Boom. And then uh, it's just gonna take a little bit of time. It's gonna go do a deep research, and you guys are gonna see in a second what it will do. Um, but the whole idea was when we built this was someone is already winning in this market. If you're going to launch an offer in the same market, selling the same thing that someone has already is already selling, then why would you just try to make up everything? Your offer, your ads, your funnels, make up what you think the market wants, right? And we just built it this way. And it's going to take a little bit of time. Things are essentially piling up as it comes in. So I'm going to just give it a second for it to come in. I'm going to get coffee. 1 second. All right, cool. So what it will do here is, first of all, we're going to see the trend in interest in the last from June 1st to December 7th, 13th, right? We want to see the interest that is happening in this industry. If it's low, we probably don't want to go after this, right? But this has gone down by 6 to 8%, but you can see that it's still steady. We want to understand what the dental marketing space actually wants and they're struggling with. Dental clinics struggle with patient acquisition, inconsistent lead quality, leads that don't convert or no show, no clear ROI tracking, can't measure which marketing channels actually work, time intensive follow up, teams spend hours chasing leads instead of treating patients, high cost per acquisition, paying for leads that don't result in booking booked appointments. What dental practices actually want: qualified, ready to book patients who show up to appointments, clear visibility into marketing ROI, know exactly what's driving new patients, automated lead qualification and scheduling, minimal time team involvement, predictable, scalable patient flow, especially for high ticket procedures like implants. I want to know how big the market is. The dental practice market is fragmented and hungry for solutions. With 200,000 dental practices in the US alone, the average practice spends 500 to 2,000 a month on marketing with consistent results. There's a massive gap between practices' need and what they're getting. AI patient acquisition searches peaked 100 in late September 2025, showing strong emerging interest in AI-driven solutions. Dental practice marketing and dental lead generation both show stable, consistent searches. The market is not trending down. It's stable, persistent, which means demand is reliable, right? There's a few different segments in the dental space. There's people going after full arch implant specialists. This is the highest value, most aggressive buyers. These are practices doing 200K, 700,000 in implant cases annually. Then there are the general practices. These are mid-market, looking for steady cosmetic and general patient flow. And then you have cosmetic-focused clinics. This is still high ticket, but selective. These are the veneers, Invisalign, whitening. And then these SOS, DSOs, multiple location, blah, 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 blah. Now, who's already winning, right? The market has clear winners and they're all using the same playbook: lead generation, qualification, and scheduling and attribution. Tooth traffic. We don't sell leads, we send qualified scheduled appointments. It gives you their offer. I believe this is an agency. Okay. It gives you their pricing. It gives you, if there are platforms that are competing in this market, it gives you really, not just agencies, but also software that are dominating. Okay. It then gives you ad creative, right? It then gives you landing page. It then gives you what the customers are actually saying straight from Reddit. Do cosmetic dentists actually need help getting more cosmetic cases? Answer: yes, but inconsistently. Demand varies. How much do clinics typically spend? Sentiment. Many dentists are tired of another marketing agency. Desire practices want solutions that don't require heavy involvement. Who should you sell to first? Based on the competitive landscape and market signals, here are the highest leverage lead personas. It's essentially, this is the ICP, the ideal customer avatar. Tier one is selling to implants, full arch implant specialist, right? They're already spending money. They're making a lot of money from it. They're high ticket. Cosmetic should be second because this is still high ticket. And I know there's a lot of demand for veneers. Everybody has perfect smiles nowadays, right? So I think that market is growing. And then it will also suggest you the ad angles and the hooks, pricing your offer, and then key opportunities and gaps. And then it will also suggest you which offer you should go with. Precision Implement Sales AI. This service leverages a proprietary AI engine to generate optimized, hyper-personalized ad creatives. This one is instantly qualifies raw marketing leads through intelligent screening chat, schedules pre-vetted appointments. And you don't need to launch all these solutions all at once. You can just focus on one. Now, I'm not going to click here for now. But what we wanted to do is, let's say you have a perspective, you're already in business and you understand what's happening. You may know how to take all this context in, but someone who's maybe not have as much depth might actually not have it. So what we wanted to do is also build almost like growth consultants and agents that can consult you on the research you just did and then give you the sales process. Let's say if you're selling it, how should you sell it? What percent, and then the questions you should ask in your discovery call. What percentage of your current marketing leads actually to convert into a booked call, high ticket appointment, like implants or veneers that show up? Why ask? It tells you why to ask, and then what to listen for. Any number below 50%, complaints about no-shows or leads that can't afford treatment, confirmation that their focus is on high ticket procedures. How do you currently track your $500, $2,000 monthly spend is actually driving ROI? Why you should ask this and what you should listen for. How much is your front office spending? Why you should ask, what you should look for in the answers. How to frame your pitch. Common objections that you're probably going to get. We already use a marketing agency or tool. Why should we switch to another company and complicated software? Right? AI is too complex. My team can't handle learning the whole new system. Your pricing seems high. And then what it will do is it also rate based on each different opportunity, right? It will tell you the opportunity potential based on the market potential and the ease of entry. And it's up to you to decide which one resonates more with you, right? So as an example, ease of entry and potential, I like this one. Automated cosmetic patient pipeline, right? And this one, AI qualification for implant specialist. Revenue 100 to 150K per month potential, right? It will give you the signal. It will give you how to position your offer. Sell book to patients, not vague leads. Don't sell ROI, sell revenue predictability, right? Recommended direction. It will show you the competition you have. And it will also give you a score around the viability of this market. And then the positive that are good, high value, persistent pain point, dental clinics consistent struggle with the consistent lead quality. And it will tell you also the bottlenecks that you will face, right? And of course, it will show you ads that are currently being run.
If you're a floor dentist and want the gift of more cases this holiday season, we'll guarantee you more implants and full arch patients in the first 30 days of working with us, or you don't face a dime. Let me show you how. First, our in-house team will handle your lead generation with ads that attract patients who are actively searching for dental solutions. Then, our US-based concierge team qualifies each lead, screens them for financing, and collects a card on file to confirm their appointment. So you're only meeting patients who are financially prepared and committed. So if you're ready to kick off the new year with high-value patients and a packed calendar, click the link to schedule a call. Let's make sure your 2025 starts strong. No gimmicks, just results.
So the next thing is, once you have this, one of the biggest thing that I saw that is super important is who is the top performer selling to dental? And can you give me everything about their offer that would allow me to replicate everything they're doing and launch in less than a day. Okay. Um, I wanted to do this because one of the things that is super important is in every market, there's always someone who's winning. Okay. And then the idea is, why don't we pull everything that they're actually currently doing? And I did it earlier, so I'm just gonna share kind of like the research that I did. So tooth traffic, which is actually what this is looking for, like tooth traffic complete offer breakdown, right? Um, it's kind of like pulling the research here, but I'm just gonna share it here. It essentially showed me everything they're doing, gave me their core offer, their messaging, their ad creative, the landing page. Okay. Let me show you guys. I don't know if this will pull up. Yep, there we go. This is the current funnel they're driving ads to. It gave me their pricing, gave me their sales process. It gave me how they deliver. It gave me the competitive edge. It gave me what I can replicate and the step by step. It gave me the exact replication checklist, landing page, and the biggest opportunities for me to essentially separate myself from what they're doing. And of course, gave me all the copy for the ads they're running, right? The idea here is I can then take all of this if I'm happy with it and just put it into the operating system and just relaunch every single thing that they're currently pushing, right? The future is going to be that you're able to go into any market and just replicate whatever you want in a second, right? And I also did it for other, we also have this competitor analysis. When you're doing research, I'll show you guys this maybe, and then I'll go explain everything shortly. When you're doing research, if you just want to go after one person and you know their name, you can just do a deep competitor analysis search. And then I did it on Hormozy and it did me this. It pulled this out. Alex Hormozy, $200 million net worth, $250 million a year portfolio annual revenue. Um, their core offering, business, education, scaling frameworks, portfolio investments, 1 million plus subscribers, 17 million total views. Key insights, what they're currently selling, $100 million offer, but the books, the acquisition scaling workshop, the free courses, the acquisition scale advisory, the school community that he sold for $18,000, and the private equity model. And then it goes in and tells me everything on how they're currently doing it. Content first authority building, massive volume of content, book as lead magnet model, tiered monetization funnel, YouTube, $30 books, advanced courses, scaling workshops, equity, portfolio, co-founder partnership model, school community. Also, he's an owner, advertising ROI, personal brand as a product. And it goes in and tells me a deep dive as to everything that he's doing and positioning himself, right? What we wanted to do is sometimes you may already know who you want to copy, but you don't have the ability to go look up everything that they're doing all in one. Okay, cool. Why don't you get all the agents on this app to go look up all their ads, look at all their YouTube, look at all their TikTok, look at all their Instagram, look at all their funnels, look at every single thing that they're doing. As long as it's on the internet, we're gonna go find it and then allow you to replicate everything in a single second, right? I was wanting to do a webinar launch. I'm gonna launch a webinar kind of like a offer in the near future. And I wanted to see, hey, who's currently doing webinars so that I don't have to replicate everything, right? And I was like, hey, where's the interest when it comes to doing webinars for founders? And it showed me the interest when it comes to webinars. It told me, where's the opportunity, who's already winning, who's doing webinars, and who isn't. It showed me the best niches to go after if I want to do webinars, the highest demand, the growing one. Digital agencies, online course creators, and educators are currently booming when it comes to doing webinars. The ad creative that I should leverage, the winning funnel structure, the Reddit why service providers want it. And then I said, hey, show me ads being ran right now of the person who's killing it in the selling webinars already. And it showed me Jason Wojo, which some of you guys, if you are in the online space, you should know. He's doing pretty well with this. It showed me his ads. It showed me his landing page. Uh, it showed me his offer. It showed me his other low ticket product that he's selling. And I know this is the point of this here is it's possible to do this as a human. You can go find it, right? But okay, you can. But then how about analyzing what you found? Are you going to understand why he's doing it? Right? Did you know who Jason Wojcik was? Right? Do you know who other players are in this space? Can you see their funnels? Can you see all their ads? Can you see what angles they're leveraging? And I'll get it to analyze everything. The time to model what is already working today, so you don't have to start from scratch, is essentially non-existent.
If you're a coach, consultant, online service pro, course seller, okay, I'm going to build you a done-for-you webinar in just 14 days so that you can sell one-to-many.
And this is, I could teach you, I could sell you a course on how to launch this webinar funnel, or I could just ask AI, this truth engine, to give me everything that I need to relaunch in the same day. And that was the whole point of us building this. It was, am I able? I don't want to buy any course. I don't want to believe any human online. They all are liars at the end of the day. Okay? I just want to know if it's already working, then someone should already be doing it. Let me leverage it and let me win today so then I can focus on doing bigger things later. Right? And then, of course, you have all the reports as you do them. If you want, then you want to kind of like turn something into an offer. You can do it right there. From every report that you do, you can build an offer and then kind of like launch. We have insights here. And we also, what we've started doing is every single day, we're also curating a list of insights on the platform. Every single day, we're releasing essentially an offer that we think is super valuable to kind of like users, and also sharing videos related to that offer and why we think it's a great opportunity. Okay. Now, just so it's clear, with this truth engine, we completely redefine how one goes about building and scaling a company. The old inefficient ways human tried to find an edge was buying courses. You've probably done that enough times, failed enough times to realize that ain't your solution. That's not going to get you out of what you're struggling with. No more believing gurus on webinars, on YouTube, on IG, and their rented Lambos and Bugattis and Patek Philippe's. I don't know how they're now allowing people to rent $3 million cars at 20 years old, but that's crazy. But no more telling AI your bright idea and letting it hallucinate and tell you that how genius your plan is and that it can make you a billionaire, right? Because I know we've all done this, especially with ChatGPT. I personally stopped using ChatGPT because of this. It just wants to make you feel good and never actually goes against your ideas, right? So I personally, if you guys are using ChatGPT, please stop using ChatGPT, okay? No need to go to get a master's degree. Spend 5, 10, 20 years of your life chasing a document that might give you status, but that gives you zero confidence, that gives you zero financial confidence. You're welcome to do it because you enjoy learning, but don't confuse it with the path of becoming financially free in the AI era, right? I personally would rather give my niece access to the Truth Engine and to Cook AI before I tell her that she has to go learn math. I mean, I think math is good to learn though, but I would rather let her learn to play and guide intelligence and all the intelligence in the world than tell her that, hey, you have to focus on spending time doing things that probably won't get you where you want to go. Okay. Now, what is the new way? You wake up excited to build $1 million a year business or maybe $1 million a month. You're like, hey, I want to essentially find markets that can allow me to scale past $1 million a month selling agro solutions to. Okay, perfect. Pick a market, or maybe don't. Just let the Truth Engine suggest you. I don't know which market I should go after, right? What is the main research priority? All of the above. Okay. Where is your stage? Let it find you the current concerns of this market and what they actually want. Let it find you the different segments of that market that are the most in demand for your solution. Let it find you the right AI solution. Let it find competitors, everything, their positioning, their funnels, their ads, their monetization, how they're actually making money, their ads. Get your truth-backed go-to-market blueprint on how to model everything that they're doing. Okay. And from there, click one button and start cooking. The next day, wake up to leads and calls with businesses wanting to give you the money for your solution. Now, I may be sharing this and I'm like, hey, this is cool. It's good to have this Truth Engine, this research thing, but what is the actual impact? And the reason why I'm even so excited for this is not because of what it can do, it's because of the impact that it had for clients who started leveraging it. And that's the point. I think Wasim is on the call, right? Jules, let me know if he's on. If he's on, we can let him in like 2 seconds. Essentially, when we launched the Truth Engine, we actually gave access to clients, and we didn't necessarily know what to expect. We just say, hey, we built this new thing. It's based on a process that we saw help another client win. Do you want to test it out? We gave it to 8 clients. And one of them was Wasim. He's operating an AI growth firm going after design firms. He had spent money on ads, gotten a ton of leads, but struggled to close deals. He had paused ads and then joined the beta access of the Truth Engine. And on December 1st, he messaged me and said, hey, by the way, Serge, I just used a research agent to sell on a call today. Stay tuned for the wins. I was so excited because I had zero expectations from this product and I had not personally tested it much myself. And guys, check this out. 4 days later, boom. Still haven't leveraged TryCook research to close this one. Probably the best feature on TryCook to leverage right now. $4,000 upfront and $8,000 deal, right? And then Wasim, you're on?
Yeah, I'm right here. Bro.
Cool. You want to kind of like share your because the reason why I was like, hey, mashallah, it was because I did not necessarily. So there's a point, like I'm a consultant, so like I'm an agency owner. So most of the time, helping someone win was always either came from you giving them knowledge and maybe you do something for them, but it still costs you work. It's still like you're gambling. You're not really sure if it's going to work, right? But the reason why I was so excited is because we built this product without much expectations, and then we just gave it, to you and said, hey, find use case, find the use of it.
Right.
You want to kind of like tell the experience, because most people here who maybe don't have a business may not really understand the value of having the truth. Maybe I want to tell your story around leveraging it.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, like even me, when I started off, like I had no prior knowledge about like marketing, sales. I was just a student, and so I didn't really know anything about business. I was always passionate about business, but I didn't have all this knowledge, right? And with TryCook, it's like you said, like I joined a bit late, but I saw it, like you mentioned, you're basically the AI architect, right? So the way that you think And the way you leverage AI, that's what's the most important, right? So when you told me about the research agent, I was like, okay, what is the best way I can leverage this for my situation right now? Well, obviously, I need to close more deals, right? Like we have all these leads in the pipeline, but closing was an issue. Like our conversion rate was really low. So I was like, okay, let me try to use this and use it to sell a client on a call.
Yeah.
And I had like a bunch of like warm leads, right? So I kind of just used that to my advantage. And I said, okay, I know what this client wants. I'm going to use Try Cook with all the data that I've gotten from my previous call. I'll use that, put it into Try Cook, and then build the playbook from A to Z, then show it on the call. And I'll be like, look, this is the game plan. I'll go through it with the person, with the client. And now they have full clarity on what to expect. So they know exactly how, if they were to get onboarded, what is going to happen and how it's going to happen. And so I gave them everything on the call, right? Like all the data, all the stats, right? The competitors. So everything from A to Z. And at the end, it was just like a no-brainer for them, right? Because they know like, okay,
And
he gave me everything.
yeah, and the important insight is that you had already spoken with this lead, right? You had already pitched her.
Exactly, yeah. I already had pitched them. And I just kind of used, so obviously we used Fathom, so we used the transcript that we had from that lead, and then we used that and then put it into Try Cook, and then use the market research from Try Cook, knowing the client's current situation,
Yeah.
right? So that's why I say like it's very important to be the architect, like you said, because I could have just said, okay, do the research, but with no context.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to get the best output, you know. So
Yeah, and then so that prospect previously you got on a call, pitched them, didn't necessarily close, then you followed up with them with a playbook that so you used the first sales call you did with her, took that context, put it into the truth engine to then go build a playbook that actually matches her concerns. And it said, hey, I now have more data. So you almost like overcame her objections using the report from the truth engine.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sick. And then she ended up paying 8 grand.
Yeah,
No,
so it was
the
an
8K deal.
8K deal, but honestly, like it should have been more. But the first time we pitched, it was at the beginning. She was actually one of the first people we talked to, and she was like, "Wait, I remember it used to be like 8K." And I'm like, you know what? Like I'll give it to you for 8K.
Sick. What do you think is the most valuable? Because for me, I think because even I even like to use your experience and other clients' experience to try to find the best use case, which is it most valuable to find the truth, or is it find the most valuable to find the truth and then for your prospects? Where
Well,
have
that's a
you,
good
what do you
question.
think is the most valuable? Like you can apply it for your own offer, right? Like
Right.
let's say you want to scale it further, you can
Hmm.
find people doing better and then model it. If you
Yeah.
had to rate the most valuable use case in your situation.
I think it all depends on the person and where they're at, like the situation, right? So like for me, for example, as I'm scaling, like I still need to close more deals in order to then maybe like change something when it comes to my offer, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like as you go and you're okay, let's say you're using it as for sales, like I did, and then you're closing more and more deals, and I think you can see maybe something like a pattern or something, then you can use it for your own offer and like adjust, you know what I mean? But it all depends on the person and where they're
Yeah.
at in the business. But I mean, like, who doesn't like to close deals? Like, bro,
Yeah.
if you're gonna use it for sales, I mean, you might
Yeah.
as well.
Um, yeah, 100%. But yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for jumping on, man.
Of course, man. I
Appreciate you.
appreciate you. Thank you, Serge.
All right, guys, let's keep going. So this was the first case study, and then the second um came from this client, Hamad, who wasn't able to join here because they were the first to kind of like get results with this system. He's an engineer, graduated as an engineer, full-time job, still working a 9 to 5. Closed his first client last month in November, but then went for a little a month without being able to close again. And then which was, yeah, so November. So this is when he closed his first client. As you guys can see, by the way, he had no prior experience of running a business. Um, he ended up closing one. And then I did an interview with him on the 5th. Okay. So like 15 days ago, after he closed his client, because I was like, hey, this is really sick. We have someone who'd never really ran a company who saw results. I love to speak with people because when you're starting out, your first client is going to be the best money you'll ever make because of how much it does for you. First of all, it makes you believe and it makes you believe in yourself so much and makes you shift your paradigm around how money is made. For most people, they have to get paid to make money. And then there's a small group of people that literally get paid for their ideas and for their work. I can wake up today and be like, okay, cool. I want to make $10,000. Okay, how am I going to do it? And then you just do it, right? You don't need someone else to give you a paycheck. And when that happened, Hamad actually decided that he's going to leave his job because if he's able to make $2,000 on his own time from taking one single call with a prospect, then why would he go give 40 hours a week to his 9 to 5? So in the interview, when I did it with him, he's like, hey, I'm actually going to quit. And then I was like, hey, did you get access to the Truth Engine? He had a bunch of prospects. He wasn't able to close again. I was like, hey, you should get access to the Truth Engine on the 5th. Monday, 8 Monday at 8 p.m. the following week, he closed the second client, switched up my presentation offer using the Truth Engine. 9 a.m. The following day on the 9th, he closed another client. 48 hours later, closed a third client. My reaction, I was like, what the fuck? And the reason why I had this reaction is not because this is life-changing money, but at the rate at which he was closing, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And that's what made me a billion times more excited about the Truth Engine. So when I generally say the truth shall set you free, I genuinely mean it. Not because it has made me millions of dollars, but because it has made the people with the least amount of leverage and experience the ability to have consistent revenue growth. And if I can tell you this, the most valuable thing that I can give you is confidence in you being able to go to a business and say, this is what you need, give me money. Instead of, oh, I'm gonna install this AI. It might work, it might not work. Oh, I don't know how it's gonna do. I don't have case studies. No. Why? Let the truth do all the cooking. Right? It's one thing to make a business already making $1 million a year, an extra 500K. It's totally a different beast to help someone close their first, second, or third client. It is so hard that truthfully, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy because of how mentally tough it is when you get into that valley of despair. For anyone who's been in business, you guys know that you get excited. You're like, okay, I'm so excited to start. And then it takes you a week, a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year, 2 years. And you're like, oh my God, am I actually going to make it? And most people quit here. But I promise you, if you make it through this valley, you're going to experience a level of control that is worth all the sacrifices. But the hardest part of business has always been making it through here. Most people never could, right? So from these wins, what I realized is that we're experiencing a new way of selling, which I'm calling the truth selling process, right? Businesses have already been burned more times than you can count. So if you think that you're just going to put together an offer and go sell them something and they're going to just say, okay, here's my money, you're confused. They've probably already bought some AI automation or tool that didn't work. So you need something that is undeniably valuable that forces the prospect to do what? To trust you. Because instead of leading with a pitch, you're going to lead with value. Okay? They're also, not only are they going to need to trust you, they're also going to need to trust that your playbook is real and that your solution actually works. And guess what? It is going to be because it's based on what's currently working. You essentially are selling the truth therefore the old objections don't apply as much. And most importantly, you're giving tremendous amount of value and shift all their beliefs on the call. Does this make sense? Let me know in the chat. Beautiful. Now, I want to show you guys the end game because I've shown you guys how to win, how to solve your problems, the leverage. But can I show you guys what the actual end outcome is before we wrap up? Let me know in the chat. Okay, cool. This is my part. This is what we're doing. This is what I love. It gets me excited. And I want to show you guys what we've discovered. So essentially, there is something happening with AI that isn't just about, okay, you shouldn't just start an AI business. You shouldn't just do any of that, right? The goal is to actually end up being in the game where you actually sell intelligence yourself. Okay, let me break it down. See, the old way to build wealth was renting out your time, which is services. You're smart, you're good, you can build funnels, you're an accountant, you can build systems. It's still your time. It's time-based. Even information products, selling courses, you're still selling your time. Why? Because it's a service. You're just delivering your services through information, right? And the current way is renting out software. So then maybe a little bit more leverage was, okay, you could build a software product and then you can rent it out for subscriptions. But the future, what I call the $100 million opportunity, is to actually rent out intelligence. Now, what is productized intelligence? It is essentially taking a specific high-level decision-making process of the top 1% of business owners in a specific vertical and encoding it into agents that do the work for you. It's not just a tool, it's a result in a box. The trap, everyone wants to skip straight to the end game, which is like, oh, I want to build an AI app. But to build a world-class AI engine, you need three things. Data. You need to know exactly what strategies work. I'm not talking about data from the truth engine. I'm talking about data from like doing work, right? You need capital. You need a lot of money. The third thing you need is distribution. You need a loyal list of customers ready to buy, right? The idea here is, actually, I'll show you guys the Lucid chart so you guys can see it visually and show you guys what this looks like perfectly. Stage one, everyone here needs to do is you need to become a truth broker. You need to pick a market, right? It doesn't matter what it is. It could be cleaning businesses, it could be lawyers, it could be accountants, it could be insurance agents. It doesn't really matter, right? And then what you want to do is you want to be a truth broker. What that means is you get paid to learn. You find what is the truth in their market, their marketing, their sales playbook that their top 1% uses, okay? And then you want to say, hey, by the way, here's how your industry is scaling it. Would you like for us to implement the AI playbook and the AI system that allows you to also be part of the top 1% of your industry? And let's say you sell it for 7.5K because cleaning businesses are not going to pay you 15 grand, right? But maybe they pay you 7.5K. And then on average, you sign 5 clients a month. That would give you, I don't know, 37 to 75K between 5 to 10 clients a month, right? After 12 months of doing this, you will end up with a list of clients, which is around 120 businesses. Okay? The beautiful thing about this is you are generating high margins on this here because implementing the systems is like, as you guys saw, like integrators on Fiverr is like nothing. It's cost nothing, right? But you're still charging high ticket. Okay, because you're not just selling an AI voice agent, you're selling a set of specific systems and a playbook that only you can figure out. Most people selling AI voice agent don't necessarily know what that industry needs. But since you have the truth, you're going to know everything from how they sell to who they sell to what price point, et cetera, right? Now, in my opinion, this first phase, which is building and releasing these systems, you can easily get it to $1 million a year. We've been able to scale it past. I think our peak was 600 grand a month, which was our $7 million a year run rate. This is literally purely knowing how to scale an industry better than they know how to scale it themselves, and then selling them the playbook and the system. That's what I started doing when I shut down my appointment setting service, and started building and releasing these systems. Now, once you're done, you enter stage phase two, which is what? You put all of these businesses together, and you're like, hey guys, since we're seeing a lot more data than you guys have, would you guys like for us, you pay us a monthly retainer, we'll optimize your system and also help you integrate more systems as we learn that are working in your industry, right? You enter phase two, which is insight and data accumulation, right? Why is acquiring data? Why do you need clients? Why is this so important? It's because the thing that makes your app or tool unique instead of others, the thing that separates one app from ChatGPT is unique data that cannot be accessed elsewhere. And ChatGPT doesn't know how all the sales calls go when people are selling cleaning services, right? They don't know the speed to lead. They don't know the nurturing emails. They don't know all these things. So when you have all these businesses together, you're going to have 100, 200 after a year or three of doing this. And then once you have all of this, then you're ready to do what? To take all that data, strategy, and wrap it into an AI application that essentially moves you from selling the truth, from even selling systems, to renting out AI intelligence that does the work for that industry. Now, how do you monetize? Really simple. You could have $1,000 a month system app that they pay every month, and it does most of the work. And the reason why they would be willing to pay you, $997 if they're a small business, or $1,500, $2,500 a month if they're mid-sized cleaners, or if they're a multi-location group or a franchise, 3 to 7K per month, is because you'd be saving them 70K to 200K a year on marketing and sales and admin overhead. With that one app, they can replace marketers. They don't need to pay agencies anymore. They don't need to pay salespeople anymore. They definitely don't need to pay a receptionist. They definitely don't need to pay an admin person, right? And then you can just put all of it all in one and own that vertical, right? You stop charging for hours and start charging for access. You rent the super brain with all these agents for $1,000, $5,000 a month, and you have essentially moved from a service business that has literally no valuation to a technology asset that can have a 10x, 15x multiple, right? Now, how did I end up to this conclusion? Essentially, over the last 4 years, 5 years, I've been studying some of the greatest private equity VC people. And one of the playbook they always run was this playbook around, they like to find boring little software businesses that are cash flowing like crazy, but that are in a tiny little market that competitors don't want to get into. One of the greatest companies that's done this is Constellation Software. What they do is really simple. They go find software companies that are doing a few $1 million a year, and they're like, hey, here is $25 million. Can we acquire your software? And then they put them in a portfolio of softwares. They like to go after healthcare. They like to go after these boring little niches. And today they have, I think, over 500, if not 1,000 vertical market softwares that do over $10 billion a year in revenue and over $1 billion in profit every single year. And that portfolio they have is worth over $60 billion. And another company that's been able to do this really well is Vista. This is more of a private equity firm they've essentially realized that the goal is to hold on assets that essentially produce value, which is, they also focus on software, and they have over $100 billion worth of assets under management. And all they do is they come in, acquire your business or invest in it, help you scale it, and they just want cash flow. And what I realize is that this is the same game that every one of us is going to have to play. Because the moment that someone has built this solution in, let's say, an industry like cleaning businesses or insurance or accounting, and you sell growth to those niches, you won't be needed anymore. You'll be made irrelevant. Because no one is going to pay a human $5,000 a month when they could pay $5,000 a month for a software with 30 different agents that can do the same work as a team of 60. Right? And when I saw this, I was like, oh, okay, I see. It's not a race to being an eight, and this is where people think so small. It's not a game to become an AI agency owner. No, that's still a human bias. You want to become literally a broker of truth, get data, sell systems, get rich, collect capital, collect data. And I want you to get into a game where you can't lose, which is you actually truly become a seller of intelligence. Instead of you typically being, because since we're born, we've been pushed this narrative of like, you have to be smart so you can get a job. No, 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 I don't. Not anymore. Not anymore. But the world still needs workers. The world still needs intelligence. The world still needs output. But luckily, intelligence is now commodity. It's now commoditized. It's AI. And eventually, robots are coming. What do you think happens when intelligence and physical bodies, little robots, get combined? Even manual workers are cooked. And for me, when I saw this, I was like, oh, finally, I understand the game now. This is why all these companies, like I showed you guys at the beginning, Trump is not signing this order to make all the states follow one rule federally for nothing. They're not launching this Genesis mission because it's fun. They're not hiring 1,000, is like the United Air Force. Now it's the tech force, right? They're not doing this because it's a fun time. AI is not a fun time. No, no, no. This is a race that shifts everything. It's not fun. It's not a game. It's not like everyone. It's either you either are cooking or you're cooked, right? And just to summarize and go over it, just to wrap this up, Sequoia, one of the greatest venture capital firm, I was listening to one of their talk last year, and one of their partners said, "We may be standing at the precipice of the single greatest value creation opportunity mankind has ever known." And the reason why he said this is because AI is coming for every single vertical. It's coming for every single niche. It's coming for every single service. It's coming for every single knowledge worker with the only goal of replacing the human workflow with an AI workflow. Everything you're currently doing as a human will probably be done by AI or a bot or robot a decade from now. You may be wondering, how am I able to stand here and say this, but literally to you guys? Because technically, if you guys extrapolate what I'm saying we're all going to be rendered useless, right? And the reason why I'm able to stand here and say that is because when I saw that we were able to put what we put in, and I'm not saying that what we built is amazing or that it completely removes the human, but when I saw what we were able to do, the ability to put all the process, productize and automate my entire company's worth of intelligence or workflows, I was like, holy shit, are people not seeing what's about to happen? And I realized that there is no coming back from this reality, right? So for me, I've made it now my mission to empower our clients and every natural born leader out there who wants to stop being a spectator of this platform shift and transition from fearing replacement to owning intelligence, becoming the architects who build a future rather than being left behind it. And by the way, there's going to be some UBI, universal basic income, that's coming. I think the government is going to have to take care of it because otherwise we're all like, imagine if every single company starts just hiring AI, like what are we going to do? Right? The world is going to go, is going to, if the cover, anyway, UBI is coming, right? Elon Musk is saying that he's not even call it, he's not calling it UBI, he's calling it universal high income, meaning everyone is going to just get paid to just do nothing, right? But for me, I'm not going to wait on a UBI or UHI. I just want to know where I'm going to die so I never go there. That was one of my favorite quote from Buffett and Munger, where essentially they like to say that if you avoid failing long enough, you will win. And that's what we want to do, right? Now, everyone on this call here has a choice. What do you guys choose? You're either cooking or you're cooked, right? Um, and after taking all this information I've shared over the last few hours, you can either, you have two choices really. Do nothing and go back into your old routine because you're telling yourself, hey, I'll wait and see if how this all unfolds and figure it out. Or you can go all in on this new adventure because it's exciting, right? It's literally we're creating reality as we go. It's one of the most beautiful thing ever. With the mindset of, if it does unfold and I'm part of the leaders in this new reality, it will be impossible for me to lose. Right? Was your time worthwhile, guys, today on this training? Let me know in the chat. Just say yes, drop a yes if did we learn something valuable today, guys? Beautiful. And did you guys learn things that you didn't know before? Because I guess I approached this a little differently from every AI person who sells automation. I'm sorry I didn't teach you guys how to automate things on NNN. I just don't see the point when AI is just going to do it. That's just wasting your time. And then do you guys understand that the potential of AI and how it will change the landscape of how we scale businesses? Or truly, just how it will change the entire workforce? Let me know in the chat. And do you understand the reason behind the AI race and that it's not just for you to enter a business where you sell, little AI automations or tools, but instead position yourself to enter a game where you own the next frontier of value creation, right? My family, so I grew up where I grew up, the triplex, right where I grew up, besides my home where I grew up is being sold, and my family's like, "Hey, Serge, you should buy it. You should buy it." I'm like, "What? You want me to buy a home when I can put my money into AI and rent AI? What would you guys rather do? Would you guys rather rent AI, own AI intelligence that does work for literally people, and then they pay you for intelligence doing the work without you doing anything? Or would you rather own a home where you get a 5% cap rate and you have to change the roof, and then you have to wait 20 years to make your my net worth increase by 500K in 30 years? Really? I'm not buying that home. Sorry, guys. I'm not a real estate investor. If there's any real estate investors here, I'm sorry, but I'm all in on AI. You invest in your properties, I'll invest in intelligence, and we're going to rent the hell out of it, right? This is the future. I'm putting all my money in AI, right? And guys, is it fair to say using insights I covered today, it's unreasonable for everyone watching this not to have a significant edge over the competition? Let me know in the chat. Do you guys feel like you have an edge? You guys are investing in both? Design my home with AI? Okay. Okay, yeah. I mean, we're gonna need to put that money somewhere. So yeah, we're gonna buy some homes. If we parted ways right now and you're left to your own devices to go off and do this on your own, it would be a worthy ideal to pursue if that was your only option. But today, as promised and as promised along, it is not. I have another path for you guys. As I've said, I've made it my mission to empower you and give you the leverage and make it unreasonable for you not to win. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to give you guys a lever and a fulcrum on which to place it and allow you to not just move your world, but to move the world of everyone around you. Because if you do win, it's not just you that benefits from it. It's everyone. So here's our mission. I believe all future wealth will be created by those who own intelligence and rent it out to others. As one organization, it's impossible for us to go after each niche, vertical, and acquire all the clients, all the data, and raise the capital needed to pull it off. But we can empower enough founders in building their first successful AI growth firm past 20 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand per month. And together with our ability to build these intelligent systems and platforms, and before we get into phase 3, we can actually potentially have a glimpse of a chance, just a tiny glimpse of figuring this out, right? But before we get into phase 3, we need to make it unreasonable for the most amount of founders not to enter this race. And the best way to do so is by releasing the Truth Engine. If you want to learn more about the Truth Engine launch offer, comment truth in the chat. Who wants the truth? I need the chat to go crazy. Paul Cook, I saw you opting in the registration. I was going through people who registered. I was like, oh, that's funny. I love it. We need to give you Cook. So try Cook is our first ever public product launch. So we've never actually launched to the public our AI platform ever. It's only private to our clients. Since this is our first public product launch, we want to avoid chaos and systems breaking, because also I want to put this into perspective, guys. The systems will break. Do not hold perfection to us, but we will be there to help you figure it out and to make sure things are fixed. But we want to make sure that every user gets the clarity they need before they start executing and moving to stage 2 of the journey as fast as possible. What does this mean? We're now going, we want you to access the truth before you can even think about execution. Execution phase is okay, I'm selling the systems, I'm implementing this. How do I do it? Where do I get the talent? This and that. No, how about we first solve the truth part, and then we can get into phase 2 once you have all the clarity you need, right? We're not going to be able to make this offer and provide access to the Truth Engine available to everyone that will want access. So keep that in mind. We want to provide a white glove experience to TryCook's AI Truth Engine users, which means every single person who accesses it is going to get a proper kind of like onboarding to get it. So we're capping the seats to 30 members before we officially launch it January 1st, okay, to the public. What do you get with the Truth Engine? Again, the biggest value point, in my opinion, is you get to see where the unmet demand is. Instead of guessing what a niche wants, that sends you, the exact bleeding neck problems, the real problem are actively complaining about right now. You get the specific pain points, the desire, the exact language of your perfect customer, your perfect customer is using. So you know exactly what to sell before you even build it. Avoids you having to waste your time building the wrong service, selling the wrong thing, right? The $1 million blueprint, zero guesswork. We find the competitors who are already winning big, so in your target market, and we hand you the entire playbook. So you get their offer structure, their pricing model, their sales process, their ad angles. You aren't testing a new business. You are legally cloning a proven winner. You launch with a funnel and offer that is already proven from day one. The solution market fit. You don't need to be an AI expert to know what to sell. The engine analyzes the pain points and automatically suggests the exact AI service or system that solves them. It tells you which AI solution to build and how to package it for maximum profit. You have a high value sellable AI offer created for you in seconds. The market viability score. Never waste your time. If a score is under like 80%, don't go after that market, please. Avoid it. We've built it in a way that it scores based on the likelihood of success that we've seen from launching these companies. So please trust the score. You only invest in opportunities that are mathematically verified to be profitable. And of course, once you have the entire kind of like plan, you don't need to hire a sales director. You don't need to have a growth consultant. You don't need to have anyone. Just get the entire report analyzed and show you kind of like the whole entire go-to-market motion, and help you turn raw insights into closed revenue automatically, right? Now, what is the price? How much do you guys think it is? Because I know how much you guys think it is. Let me know in the chat. 6K a year, 5,500, 997 a month, 7,000. Okay, cool. So normally, just so I put things into perspective, there are only two ways to access the system or our service. The first one is you can become a partner. We'll do growth consulting. You'll have access to me. We'll do the implementation of the systems. Also, this webinar, I didn't go through a lot of systems, right? But there is a whole lot of things we do on the back end that I did not want to bore you with. I did not show you guys some agents. I did not do that. But we have a lot of things on the back end. Okay. But I don't want to overwhelm people. I normally do 6 hour long webinars, so we're not going to do that today. Okay. That's first process, 18 grand, 15% of growth. The second way you can also work with us is our AI Growth Architect Incubator. You can access all our playbooks, the systems, and build alongside us. That's 5,800, right? The Truth Engine price, when we launch it on January 1st, is going to be 1,997 for the year, right? We're charging per year. We're not giving this a monthly. This is not a software that you rent on a monthly basis. No, you're making a decision to actually commit to doing something with it. If you want to use ChatGPT, you can. Okay, you can. You don't need the Truth Engine right now, but we want to attract the right people with this. Therefore, the price has to also align, right? And we also have almost 3,000 people on the wait list because we haven't given people access to this. So I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to limiting it, right? We're only going to be selling the yearly to avoid ending up with 1,000 customers who just come in and treat this as just another ChatGPT. We build this for operators and committed founders to have an edge. If this was $20 to access, guess what? Everybody would have the truth. And if everybody has the truth, then the truth doesn't matter anymore, right? I think I forgot to explain this, but the most important thing you'll also learn in business is that timing is everything. And the reason why timing matters is because the moment everyone does what you do no longer works or seem as valuable. If everybody has something, then that something doesn't really matter. If everyone can do what you can do, then your worth, the ability for you to charge money, is not going to be as valuable. So that's why the logic was, yes, we found the truth, but we're not going to make it readily available so that everyone can find what everybody's doing. Because then if that's the case, then the whole value of finding the truth no longer works. Okay. Another important fact, which is super important for you guys, because you guys are going to see it in the app. You're not buying software subscription, you're buying credits. Since this is an agentic platform, every time you run a search, you are burning a real GPU, you're burning energy, and we're paying for every run. Okay? Think of it as paying for employees to find you the truth. It's just done through AI employees. One of our engineer, when he was testing the app, he spent $800 alone just stress testing it. $800. So you guys will have your 400, not your what you pay credited to your account. Please keep that in mind and use it accordingly, right? So for this cohort, it's the holidays, and I want to reward the people who are here early. So we're not charging 18 grand, 5.8K. We're not even charging the 197. The price of the Truth Engine is, if you get in today and the 30 seats, you get access for the whole thing for 497 for the whole year. If you want access to the Truth Engine, just comment in the chat truth, and I'll drop the link. All right, cool. So this is going to be the page Stop guessing, start printing. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Can someone pin the chat? The way that it's going to work is really simple. 30 seats available. Whoa, 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 whoa. Someone already paid? No, that's impossible. No. I didn't even finish putting the chat in the thing. Where did you find the link? Did someone put it earlier on? The first buyer, Lawrence Antiporda. I appreciate you. Secure your seat. We're going to have 30 seats. So yeah, perfect. So this is what it looks like. All you guys have to do is, click the link here. You're going to go on this page, and then you're going to have 497. Then you click here. You're going to need to create your account. So just search Gatari, add your email, password. Once you finish doing your password, you will be led to this page. I believe is, let me see. The second page, which is the payment page, and then you're gonna get access, right? Also, I want to do this. If you purchase it, please tag me on Instagram. My username is Serge Gatari. And please, once you have access, I'll message one of you privately and give you my top searches and insights I've found on the app and recommend the best deep research to run. Okay? Tag me on IG if you got access to the Truth Engine. Please let me know. Okay? Now, we're not done. If you're part of the first 10 people to buy, oh my God, this is disturbing me. So I'm gonna mute my phone. We're not done. If you're part of the first 10 people to buy the 497 a year credits and join the Truth Engine launch cohort, you'll get the following. You'll get access to the licensing, which is when you buy a system like this, there's always a catch, right? You're only allowed to use it for yourself, but if you try to sell the data or reports to your clients, you get hit with a cease and desist, or you have to pay $10,000 for enterprise license. I don't believe in that. And looking at how fast clients that access this engine made money, I've realized that demand for truth, the right strategy in a noisy world, is so high that an opportunity to become a truth broker opens up. I believe if you just have just the truth engine, you could just focus on selling the truth from it. You run the scan, you print the report, hand it to a business owner, and charge them for strategy and a personalized roadmap. What does that mean? You could just literally be an AI consultant where you leverage your truth engine to find you the truth, and you just sell that. Because mind you, that's technically what Wasim did. He didn't necessarily, he had jumped on a sales call with this prospect, but only when he presented her the Truth Engine playbook did she actually give him $4,000. And that to me is, in my opinion, the easiest way to get started and the most valuable bonus that I can give to anyone. It's, hey, what if you don't even need to go sell implementation, sell complicated systems. How about you just sell the truth? You become a truth broker. Help every single business know how to scale leveraging AI by just leveraging the Truth Engine. If I can only give one bonus, this would be it. Please use this carefully. And I'm also, for the clients that end up getting the Truth Engine, I'm going to make sure that every single person can figure out a way to just sell the truth. Because it's the most exciting business model ever. Now, bonus number 2. When you get the Truth Engine, because for those who have already gotten it, you're going to get access to a truth to revenue activation. You're going to get access to the Truth Engine in your email and also once you've paid. But I want to make sure that you get on a call with a growth consultant, go over the monetization roadmap, do an infrastructure audit, and also let us pull back the curtain on our 7-figure AI operating system If you are already ready for speed, we can discuss helping you install it into your business, right? Most people get stuck because they have the data, but they don't know the exact sequence or of moves to monetize it. So I'm not just going to give you a login and hope you figure it out. We're going to make sure that the first 10 people to join, that they speak with a growth consultant, get on a one-on-one session. In this one-on-one session, we're going to build the architecture required to actually make money with the data and the truth that you find, right? Boom, boom, and also show you the back end of the systems that I wasn't able to show you guys today because I don't want to confuse you guys with a lot of complication stuff. Okay. Bonus number 3, proximity is a power. So you're going to get access to our other 7-figure AI agencies, consultants. People are launching their AI offers because you're not going to scale past 7 figures alone in your dark bedroom. You need to be where the winners are. So a massive bonus I'm unlocking is you get access to the AI Growth Architect community. Now, I want to be transparent. This is the same group our high-level founders are. You're going to get to see. You won't get a private channel like they have, but you're going to get to see their wins. You're going to see what exactly their offers are. You're going to see what they're launching. You're going to see the standard of what's possible when you apply the system correctly. We're letting you in so you can soak up the culture, see the momentum, and realize that this is real. You're going to watch people just like you go from 0 to booked calls right in front of your eyes. Okay? Bonus number 4, I showed you guys earlier. The hardest part of the truth engine isn't finding data, it's choosing. The biggest danger you will face is committing to the wrong path. Because guess what? You will also, again, even with the truth, be your own worst enemy. Because you may focus on a path that isn't as good as other paths because you didn't know others existed. So what we've decided to do is, for this cohort, every single morning, we're going to be curating the single best opportunity of the day. And guess what? We essentially look at all the data of all of the searches that we're doing. And I go in and our engineering team, we're going to build kind of like this AI rating scoring kind of like system where every single day you wake up, you get access to what is the plan, viability score, and then just you're going to know everything, the right opportunities, even if you didn't do the truth search yourself, which I think is really sick. I'm going to probably be doing a piece of content weekly around these opportunities because I think they're going to be good. Bonus number 5, the AI Architect Workshop. Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. I want to reward the people who move fast. So for the first 10 people only, I'm inviting you to a private closed-door workshop. This is not a weekly Q&A. This is a one-time high-level deployment summit. On this live workshop, I'm going to do 2 things that I usually only do for our $18,000 private clients, which is I'm going to pull back the curtain and show you the entire back end of my business. I will show you how we take raw insights from the truth and use our AI operating system to turn it into $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month AI growth firms. Okay. And I'm also going to get our systems team, our engineering team to come on that call to walk you guys through all the best performing systems that we're selling into these markets, the advertising, the acquisition, the talent, every single thing that you truly need to actually go ahead and take the truth, the data you get from the truth, and actually launch. All on that call. And I'm going to be picking one person live on that call to go over your background, running through the Truth Engine live, find your opportunity, and help you map out the entire go-to-market for you. Why am I doing this? Because I don't want you to be limited by your own ideas. I want to show you the standard of what this system can do. This is a one-time event, just to be sure. So if you miss it, it's not going to happen again. If you want to be in a room where I break down the 7-figure blueprint, get access to the Truth Engine. Now, bonus number 6, which I think you guys are going to like. Truth Engine's founder credit. I want to do something that rewards action and removes all the risk. I know there are 2 types of people watching this right now. Group A, you're just starting out. The Truth Engine is exactly what you need. It is the foundation, it is a tool that will get you your first big wins. To you, I say, beautiful. Please get access to the Truth Engine, focus on it, and do not be distracted. But then there's Group B, which is the speed demons. Okay. AI helped me write this, by the way. I was just writing this, so I probably wouldn't have used speed demons, but I think for those who care about speed, you have the budget and you already know what you want. You might be looking at our AI operating system, the entire Cook's backend, our growth consulting, or even our done for you implementation service, where we build everything for you. And you might be hesitating to buy the Truth Engine because you're thinking, wait, what if I want more access, more systems, more services next week? Did I just waste 497? The answer is no. The last bonus in this Truth Engine kind of like launch is that all the money you pay to buy this Truth Engine is going to be banked as credit. This means that up until January 1st, if you decide that you want more systems, access to the entire operating system, you want access to implementation, you want us to launch ads, you want us to do this, you want us to help you hire people, et cetera, or you want us to do things for you, you can use that credit to apply it and get a discount to the next thing that you want. If, of course, you want more. So you can start small today with zero risk. If you decide to stay here, great, you have the truth. If you decide to upgrade, great, you can use the 497 as your down payment. So you don't need to make a scary commitment until you're confident and have clarity on what you want to do. Your focus today is to just get in the game. And that is why I wanted to focus on this entire launch. Is not, okay, how do we scale? No, let's first focus on the truth, because that's what everybody wants and needs. And then we can get to the next thing. Cool. All right. Who has gotten the Truth Engine? Let me know in the chat. Who bought? I have it. Got it. Let's go. Thank you, guys. Beautiful. I'm in. All right. Cool. Now, as always, I want to remove even more risk from your plate, guys. Find the gold in 30 days. Or if you don't find the truth, why would you need to pay for the truth? So I don't want your 497. If this system doesn't blow your mind and help you see how you can make 10 times more money than you're currently making, if it doesn't, our relationship will inevitably stop there. So I am incentivized to make sure you get a return. So here's the deal. You have 30 full days to put the Truth Engine to test. Log in, access the data, look at insights, make sure you have your one-on-one truth to revenue activation call. FYI, please make sure you guys get this. For those that were in first, you guys should have access. If you don't look at the data and insights and content and immediately say, wow, I can't believe I didn't see this before. Or if you feel like you haven't found a single truth worth more than 497, than the price of admission, then simply send us an email. We will refund you every penny, no questions asked. I'm not asking you to prove you made money. I'm just asking you to look at the truth. If you don't see value, you don't pay for it. Okay? And in my opinion, the reason why I'm able to do this is because, yes, the truth is valuable, but what I care about is phase 3. We need to get as many people, at least I need help on getting into building more intelligence into more verticals. I would love to build Cook for the dental market. I would love to build Cook for real estate agents. I would love to build Cook and this operating on all these agents for other verticals, but I genuinely cannot do it. So I'm not playing the game so we can have access to the truth. I'm playing, can you find the truth into a specific market? And can we then partner together to execute the playbook that I have been able to do with our platform Cook, but in that vertical? I promise you, that is going to be, for the next decade, I'm committed to just focusing on that. Give the truth to people, and there's going to be a 1% of founders. Not everyone here is going to necessarily ascend to the next stage, but those that do, we got an amazing adventure ahead of us, and I can't wait to get into it with you guys. Okay? By the way, does that resonate with you guys? This idea of like, um, does that resonate with this mission that we have? Um, Beautiful. Cool. Um, I'm open to do a Q&A if anybody wants to ask questions. I have 12 minutes. Raise your hand on Zoom. You can do it. Um, and I'd be happy to answer questions. But yeah, guys, I'm super excited. All right. Daniel, you can unmute now. Let's show people how to essentially uh, raise their hand, please, guys.
Hey, what's up, Serge?
How you doing?
Can you hear me?
I can. Yep.
That's good, that's good. Bro, I just have one question. What's the difference between try cook and truth engine? You know?
One is a truth engine, one is an operating system.
Right. So do you have like an offer just for try cook, or try cook is just with the consulting offer?
I mean, if you end up wanting the truth, if you got, did you get the truth engine or no?
Yeah, I'm getting this because I was talking with Haisam.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking to get the program, you know, the I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
almost 6K, something like
yeah.
that, or Truth Engine, you know. So, but as you said, is
You can
goes
apply
like a
it. Yeah,
credit,
exactly.
so it
So,
doesn't
and
matter.
yeah, because I know you're also launching. So if I was you, I wouldn't worry so much about the next step. First, focus on the truth first, right? Like find a valid opportunity to pursue. And then if you end up wanting more launch and scale, then yeah, cool. We're happy to apply the credit and you can just get the program if you wanted the program, right?
Yeah, bro. Just one last question. So I was
Hmm.
thinking, like if I go to a prospect on a call, you know,
Yeah.
I think the way of selling is like much different because I just present what's the truth, right? So like I just show him, okay, that works, that works, that works, and then do you want to do it or something like that? So that's what I thought, you know. What do you think?
Of what? Like, sorry, I got distracted. I was reading something. You're asking
Oh,
how do
good,
you
oh, good.
use the truth on prospects on a call?
Yeah, on a call, like how I would present for him, you know, like, because how I would show him this research and everything. I
Yeah.
actually like open the TryCook AI or Truth Engine
No, no,
and show
probably
him.
not. You would probably build like a doc or a presentation. You could use truth, but probably not. The clients who did, they didn't. They just built the proof in their offer presentation,
Right,
like almost like in
right.
their sales asset. That's what they used.
All right. Thank you, Serge. Appreciate you.
Yeah, love it. Hey, hey, Ade, you can go next.
Thank you, Sage. So my own question is just like a follow-up of what the last guy did ask. So
Yeah,
once you present the truth to the client and they were like, "Oh, we're all in into this," and because you showed them what the wins will be,
yeah.
how if they now say, "Okay, how do we um implement this into their own business?" So where do we go from there, and what's it going to cost down to do that? Because I think for me that's where the major would be, right? So what's the next on that?
Implementation is a little is the next step, which would be, and I can show you. Maybe I'll show you. I'll send a recording of the because I did another masterclass where I actually went more in depth on the systems, which is this doc here. One second, I'll show you. Which is this one here, where I go more in depth into like, okay, if you actually want to do the systems, you know like the AI voice agents, if you want to do those, this is what you would need. What let's say we have WhatsApp agents that are working. We have ads, how to price, how to launch. Um, I have more of this, like all the systems part figured out. It's just that I couldn't have gone through that part and also the truth, right? So like I have that already mapped out. I can send a video. It's actually on YouTube. I can send it to you if you want. Oops, sorry, you got muted. You can unmute yourself now.
Okay, so that's fine. But let's just take for instance now. So I heard you say we could use credit from the initial 497.
Yeah.
Can that also suffice for, let's say, for the first part of whatever a client wants for implementation? Can we use part of it for it?
Um, for implementation, let's say if you have a client that wants, let's say like a system, the price to kind of like it, the price varies on integrations, but we have clients who are selling right now as an AI SDR or receptionist to a dental clinic, and the cost for our team to integrate is like $1,600, and we're like their fulfillment partner.
Oh,
So
okay.
like we implement for them, but they have to close the client first, um, and then we are their fulfillment partner. What you're asking, are you asking like how do we help you on the next stage? Like the 15K or the 18K or the 5.8K that I mentioned earlier? Are those the products you're talking about?
Yes, so those are the products I'm talking about, right? So looking
Yeah.
at the data part, so let's assume you need a client that says, okay, how could you help us upscale our scheduling out of regular timing? And
Mm-hmm.
you've shown them the wins and the benefit that we're going to get from the truth.
Yeah.
And they're like into this, okay, so what's the next thing we need to do? How much is it going to cost us for do the implementation? So from my own part
Yeah.
to the cook now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, so what's it going to be the cost on my end? I'm like, is it going to be like a partnership thing where, okay, the
Okay, so
payment
no,
for,
like so there's two ways. You either can join like our incubator, which is 5.8K, or you can but if you want just let's say you like, hey, I sold them this system, can you guys help me build it? Then that can be cheaper. Like we can just the pricing of implementation is like 1,000 to 1,500 bucks per implementation. But
okay,
let's say you collect money. Let's say you sell $5,000, 6,000, or you get 10 grand from this business. They're like, hey, help us install this AI SDR, client acquisition that IO integration fulfillment will come in, help you integrate it. So I'll show you this. Because, okay, well, those are good questions. So let me actually go. Because I'll show you kind of like how we work more so on the fulfillment. So this is how it works. Um, we have a team of integrators, right? Let's say you were to close the client. Whoops. We have a team of integrators, and the idea is, let's say you focus on closing a $7,000 deal, $15,000 deal. Notify us that you want one of our internal integrators to come in and integrate the system for as little as 1K, and then we come in and actually do the fulfillment. And we have clients, and we build these. And then, of course, if you just want to do it yourself, we also can give you the system and the playbook around how to deliver it, and you can just deliver it yourself because we've already spent a lot of money on all these systems. $7,000 here, AI workflows here, 7 grand again. Um, you know, so you don't have to rebuild it yourself. But this is not
okay,
part of the Truth Engine, of course. But on if you get the Truth Engine and you speak with uh, the consultant, you can just walk him through and he can walk you through, okay, hey guys, I actually want to know how you guys can help me on the implementation on the client side. And then they'll walk you through all the systems we have and the implementation support that we have.
okay. So the last question, sorry. So let's
Yeah.
say, okay, using the Truth Engine, after speaking with the client, can we work this way? Say, okay, the client is saying, okay, I want you guys to now implement this. Then that's when you guys will now charge me that, okay, for the implementation of this into this, you are going to pay XYZ amount. Then not that I'm going to pay ahead.
No. But so two things. I want to separate something, I want to clarify something. It is possible for us, we can be happy to be your fulfillment partner. If you have a system that you can't fulfill yourself and you need help, beautiful. You can get integration. But
Yeah.
we also have a program, which are incubators and the partnership that costs money. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? I just want
Yes.
to make that
Yeah.
clear because I
Yes.
think what
Yes.
you're asking for is it possible for client acquisition.io to help me on the next stage, but I don't have to pay anything?
No, no, no.
That's not possible.
No, no, no. That's all I'm saying. So I'm gonna run with the Truth Engine to
Yeah.
be able to win the client side. So what
Okay.
I'm saying is after that done and set, I would
Hmm.
now come back and say, okay, we want to do the
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
implementation now.
exactly.
That
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so
yeah,
you guys now have to charge me separately for implementing this into
exactly,
XYZ incorporations. This is what it's going to cost to you, and that then
exactly.
I take
So you
that
don't
out of
have
my
to.
whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, no, 100%.
Okay.
Like if you just want, let's say you got the clients, you don't need help with any other thing, and you just say, can you guys integrate this? I have this client, they're in this market. I saw the system you guys have. It's exactly what they need. Beautiful. Give us 72 hours. We'll come in, GHL, we'll build the AI, it's the SDRs, the WhatsApp, the whatever. We'll come in and integrate it for it without having to like pay the programs or whatever. Right?
Okay. All right. That's fine for me. Thank
Cool.
you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Hey, PNM, you're good to go next.
Hi, can you hear
Hi.
me?
Yes.
Okay, hi Serge.
How you
It's
doing?
Philip. I'm good, good. What about you?
I mean, I'm good. I'm working Saturday.
Okay, perfect.
I'm sharing the
Um,
truth.
um, I already purchased your program a while back.
Nice.
For me, it was not the program per se, but I think my learning curve was really rushy. So I
Mm.
didn't receive the expectation in terms of results.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the question that I have right now is I moved to Ivory Coast
Okay.
with my
Nice.
family.
Hmm.
And wanted to be able to implement anything related to AI in those areas, whether that would be Ivory Coast, maybe South Africa.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, do you already have people working in those countries and that is success? And I'm just
Uh,
asking to know if,
yeah.
because, yeah, go on.
So we have, I have the problem with Africa is that the economies are not so huge enough where you can have a lot of businesses wanting at the rate that they want it, let's say in the States. So I'll give you an example. You may have a real
Okay.
estate investor or a real estate agency in Africa that's like, hey, we want to market online. We also want to have AI do this. But it's maybe going to be one company that wants that, but every other real estate firm doesn't want it. But then you might have another roofing, no, not roofing, construction business that wants the same thing in that market. But then you might also have another marketing agency that want that. So instead of if you're going to sell it in an African market, you're not going to need to be niche specific. You're going to need to be niche agnostic, but mechanism specific. So you're going to sell one system,
Okay.
but to like this business wants it, and then you're going to have to go find another one that might not be in that same vertical, but that may want it too.
Okay. So what I'm understanding is it will be the same system, same mechanism. It's just that it will be in diverse niches. It won't be like
Exactly.
a every. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, this is also what. Yeah. Okay. And I think we already spoke a while back, but my
Yeah.
background is paid media, so
Okay.
e-commerce and stuff
Nice.
like that.
Nice.
But I don't know if e-commerce is the way to go because it's like
Nah.
you
No.
see,
No. No.
I don't really want it as well.
No.
What I did before was remodeling,
Yeah.
but I don't have the insights really. At least when I tried it back in the
Yeah.
day, I didn't have the insight. I didn't know the know-how. I didn't know really what was the real pain points of the niche. So
Hmm.
I think also that and the fact that the learning curve was really rushy and I was also
Yeah.
still working. It was kind of a combo for me not to see the success that I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm asking right now is okay, based on what you are seeing,
Hmm.
is it I won't say a good idea, but in terms of feeling, African market, are they ready or will you maybe suggest me to try and look maybe in Canada or the US or maybe Europe like France, based on the data or based on what you can see trending?
Yeah. We're going. I mean, I'm African. I'm not going to Africa anytime soon. For now, you gotta go where the money is. That's lesson number one about business. You don't like. That's literally why the reason why anyone bought the Truth Engine today is because the like I said it today, the best thing that gives you luck is to go where luck already exists.
Yes, you don't need to
And
create it.
yeah,
You just
yeah, you don't create it. Don't create it. Go where the money is. Like where's money? Who's making money? Okay, perfect. Let me go there. Right? So don't go to Africa. Like if I use the Truth Engine right now and I try to find what's happening in Ivory Coast or in South Africa, guess what? It's going to tell me nothing.
because we don't have enough data.
Well, data would exist if it was happening. You know what I mean? Like it's
Okay,
not
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
like
it's not
in the
happening.
sense
Okay.
exactly, right? Like in the sense that like if it was really thriving, people would be advertising online, people would be selling AI. And I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just saying that the volume of people doing it is so low. And I've always maybe to answer your question, you know how everybody hates red oceans and they're like, oh, I want to go. They read that book like, hey, you have to go into a market that is a blue ocean
Blue
and create
ocean,
your
yeah.
own category. But it's like, for me,
Yeah,
the saying I like to say is the reason why it's a red ocean is because someone is eating.
exactly. Because there's demand. So
There
you
is
know
blood.
that
There is blood in the ocean because people are eating. There's demand. So if there wasn't demand, so for you, if you want to go remodeling, whatever, I mean, we have clients in that market right now, but um, I think for you, the best thing is Truth Engine and let us consult you on what would be the perfect next step. And you don't take the next step until everything is clear from the offer to the ICP to the ads to the outreach, if you want to do outreach, to the funnel to everything. Then you're like, okay, I'm fully confident because I've seen 10 different people literally validating this funnel. Beautiful. Now go ahead.
okay, okay, that sounds fair. That sounds good. Okay, good. The
Yeah.
offer that you have right now at 497, is it what is the timeline on it? Is it today only? Is it like 1 week? Is 2 days? Whatever. What is it that you have?
I mean, it's not, I mean, the price, we're officially launching this thing on January 1st, like on its own is going to be
Okay,
1997. But if you want the bonus, the call, and the consulting session and the calls that I'm doing next week and the bonuses, you got to sign up today.
okay, perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So
Beautiful.
that's it on my end. Thank you for your time.
Beautiful. Thank you. Hey, Bagger, you want to go? You're good. I unmuted you.
Yes, yes, yes. Hi, how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm good.
Little question for basically me being kind of where I'm at today, kind of new into getting AI, and I went to a lot of, few webinars trying to figure out
Yeah.
um on the path of where to start really and what are you offering? How can I start to implement like on the knowledge of like starting somewhere, which is yes, understanding, learning about AI, that's one, but what
Yeah.
will be the best path to start, let's say,
Truth Engine.
Truth Engine? And what do you mean by, I mean, I
Did
get
you
it.
just get in the Webby or did you watch everything I shared today?
I just got in like literally like maybe
Oh, okay.
30
Then
minutes. Yeah, that's why sorry about that.
yeah. Okay, cool. Then trust me, you don't I can give you an answer, but the answer I can give you is not going to be what you need. So you got to watch the whole thing because I went through
100%.
everything. And if after watching it you have a question, then let me know. But I do think that the step one is actually finding where people are already doing business and buying AI, and then
Okay.
figuring out how to deliver those things, and then how to also launch those same offers yourself. Because if you spend time, let's say you could spend time mastering building an AI voice agent or a chatbot or building
Yeah.
websites, but who cares?
Hmm.
Who's going to come and give you money? No one. Because nobody said that you chose to go master those skills, but you're not the market that's going to end up paying you. So that's
Okay.
why we built this truth engine so that before you do anything, find what's working first in using this tool,
Hmm.
and then you're going to have access to everything you need because your question is essentially insinuating that you have to figure out. But what I presented today is the fact that you don't actually have to figure out, and you shouldn't have to figure out because why would you? It's like saying like, how would you? Let's say if you haven't already made 1 million, and I'm like, okay, figure out how to make 1 million. What's the likelihood that you're going to make 1 million? Really low, right?
Hmm.
So my
Yeah.
idea today, the system that I shared is, um, instead of instead of you kind of like trying to figure out on your own, just
Yeah.
just use the truth engine. Like ask it. Give me an example of where you want to go. Do you have a
So let's say
specific
for
insight?
well, I mean, the path I wanted to obviously get in my background that I'm really more into sales and the jobs that I did in my past, like, let's say as an example, businesses that restoration, let's say, restaurants, an example. That's one of the business I was focusing a lot on. And that's something where I wanted to implement a lot in my area. And I'm actually from your area, so in Canada also.
So
So
you want to go like after restaurants? Is that what you said?
yeah, most
After
likely a restaurant.
restaurants,
Restaurant.
and sell them AI growth solutions.